how is everyone doing? I hope everyone's having a great Sunday. Okay, here everyone. Okay. Let me just put this on Twitter.
God.
Okay, can everyone hear me good? Is everything good here? Hey everyone, hey Anawak, Ruger, Shabir, Logan, Adam, Eddie's, Kingdom, E30, J-Dog, Hamid, Whitey, Rennie, Kyle, Lexi, and Lay. Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Okay, passenger in this car right now. Hey everyone. Does anyone need help selling anything? If you guys need help selling anything, invite me. I've been trying to start these streams a bit earlier. I started much earlier today because people have been asking me to start these streams earlier. Hey, bro, do you get angry that streaming studios, Oscars, and actors disrespect animation? Because I do, huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Can you explain to me what you're talking about? What your gameplay will be Marvel Spider-Man. You mean when I'll do that? Probably maybe sometime next year. There's just a lot of games I have to cover this year still. I haven't seen you in ages. Can't believe you still play this game. Well, I hope that you enjoy it at J1. Yeah, I moved on to playing other games mostly on my channel, but I still, you know, come back to playing GT Online. I still like GT Online. It's still fun. But honestly speaking, if I wasn't able to sell it, invite-only sessions and friend sessions, I probably would not be playing as much. But it's the fact that I can, you know, play in these private sessions now, and we can sell businesses and not have to worry about scumbags coming in and ruining anything. Then it's good. When are the weekly update guides coming back? Oh, Lexi, the reason I didn't put out those weekly update guides was because the last 2 or 3 weeks was because they sucked. The last few events kind of sucked. I'm just waiting for a good event to come out. Like when it's businesses or something like that, I'll definitely do it. So if this Thursday, if we got like a good event, I might cover it. But do you guys find those weekly money guides that I do helpful? Do they help you make money? I'm not gonna get into those. I'm not gonna get into that conflict. Sad you don't do series. What? Hey, suspect. Invite me to the business here when you get the chance. Is that the business is that, or which business? I'm a solo player. I thank you for the business guides you've made in the past. They've helped me out a lot. Oh, I'm glad they helped you out. Let me lower the game volume a little bit here too. Thank you, Mr. Coffee. Can you play Manhunt 2? Well, I'll play Manhunt 1 first, but I'll do the series. Yes, there'll definitely be a Red Dead Redemption 3. Will we ever get Siphon Filter 2? Yes. I have made a Siphon Filter 2 playthrough for channel members, and that playthrough is going to be up in like a week, so it's going to be up for everyone to be able to see in a week. Let me see here. Sparrow. Right here. Thoughts on the current event week? It's okay, but I'm gonna, I usually cover it when it's like a really good event. One other news professional, when I was at that video game expo a few months ago, one of the people there told me about a GTA 6 combat leak. Just looked at him, said cool, then laughed. Yeah, look, don't believe any of these leaks that people are saying it. Here's what I'll tell you guys. there was one YouTuber that I watched. I watched like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was like a GTA 6 leak video that I got recommended. I knew that it was nonsense, and it wasn't like even like one of the bigger channels. This you know, channel had like a few thousand subscribers. But basically, what happened was, in that, do you know what he was claiming in that GTA 6 leaks? He was claiming that in the GTA 6 leaks, that that food is going to be a lot more realistic, and that you're actually going to have to go to the supermarket and do groceries, and then you go home and you cook it. That's like what he was saying, that you're actually going to have to like pick up different ingredients and stuff like that to cook. Which I was like, seriously? And then there was like one guy that was saying that when there's like a shooting in the area and the police investigate it, that they're gonna make you do a gunshot residue test on your hands. It's like, no, come on. You know, who is coming up with these leaks? This sounds stupid. There's no way in hell that that's true. No, we'll never get Mexico and Reddit Online. I'm sorry, Brian. It's never gonna happen, unfortunately. You have to pay taxes in GTA 6. Yep. Hey, James Gaming. How are you, man? The leak sounds from a 3rd grader. Do you think they should add money laundering? Oh yeah. I mean, they kind of did a loan sharking business in Vice City Stories, but the thing about that is, you are already money laundering in a lot of the GTA games. Like, it's already been there. Like, Vice City, you are already money laundering in Vice City, because, like, purchasing the Malibu Club, like, for example, that was, like, a way to hide the money that came from the bank heist. So it's, like, a lot of these businesses, like Tommy purchased in Vice City, was already technically a form of money laundering. Far Cry 3, I don't know if I'll play Far Cry 3, but I definitely will play Far Cry 2, which I love. What update would you like for a winter? Honestly, I want mansions. I want customizable properties that we can get. That event with the cannibal is disturbing, but there's another similar encounter like this, but it's a man feeding his cursed wife to a rope to a post in Undead Nightmare. I actually remember that event. I know what you're talking about in London. It's a random event in Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. Honestly, you look cool in a Spider-Man cosplay. Thank you, Nico. What currency is that, by the way? I don't know if I've seen that one, but I appreciate the super chat. Thank you, man. And thank you, Aussie guy. Hi, Pro and everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. I am. How are you, man? Hey, Pro, when will the next scammer video be out? Next week. Basically what I did was I submitted a police report, another one, and I gave the police the scammer's IP address, I gave them the city where the scammer is in, I gave them the scammer's website, scammer's phone number, scammer's email address, and also scammer's Facebook. So I gave them a ton of information, and I typed up a pretty decent report, if I told the police in that report that if they don't get back to me within a week, that I'm going to call their department and complain, and I'm actually going to do it. So it's this was the Nigerian police. So this other scammer was in Nigeria also, and if the Nigerian cybercrimes don't reply to me like within a week, because you get an email from them telling you they'll reply to you within a week, but they never do. If they don't reply to me within a week, I said in the email I'm going to call your department and complain. So we're gonna see what happens. Have you ever seen the movie Enemy at the Gates? I've seen Enemy at the Gates. If you remember the World War II sniper movie, I've seen that one. Greetings from Romania about the currency. Oh, okay, Nico. Thank you, man. Have I heard of Jim Browning? Yes. I know that guy. You know, he's the British guy that like hacks into scammers, right? And their cameras and stuff like that. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Thanks, Aussie guy. Thank you for the super chat. spoiler alert, nothing will happen. That's actually, you're probably right on that. Nothing probably will happen. But still, it's better than nothing, you know? It's better at least trying to make a report and trying to do something. You know, the thing is, though, I have reported so many scammers to so many companies, and I've reported scammers to different law enforcement agencies, but I'll tell you this, the only people that actually cared, like when I reported a scammer, the only people that actually cared was PayPal. PayPal were great. They were the only ones who actually cared, and they actually took down the scammers' accounts. They were the only ones who actually cared. Like, everyone else that I report scammers to doesn't care most of the time. What business is the most money for online? The passive businesses. You know, your MC business is buying supplies for them, the bunker, buying supplies for that, and acid lab and also nightclub producing, all of that. And then doing, you know, maybe heists in the meantime. Hello, Pro and everyone. I hope my fellow UK viewers had a safe and enjoyable bonfire night. Well, thank you, Mark Leslie. I hope you had a great night, too. Thanks, man. Thank you, Invisible Man. After Red Dead Redemption Undead, can you do Mafia 3, please? For the gaming. Yes, I can do Mafia 3, but before I do Mafia 3, I'd like to do Mafia 1 and 2 again. That's what I'd like to do. So I'd like to play those games, and then I can go on to doing Mafia 3 again. Have I done all 4 Criminal Masterminds? I did the Criminal Mastermind, the original Heist, and I did Criminal Mastermind with 2 people on Doomsday. I don't think I did the 4-person Criminal Mastermind, or the 3-person one. I would have liked it if the Curse and Undead Nightmare was more powerful to make the Run and Dead have enough cognitive function to use blunt plus bladed weapons and climb. Well, thank you, Lendon. And that's the thing is, I don't know why they didn't make Undead Nightmare Red Dead Redemption 2. That was like the biggest, you know, mystery for me. Why? Because it would have made them so much money. They would have made a ton of money from that DLC. Are you playing the classic Mafia or the definitive edition? I think I'll do both. I think I might do a playthrough classic, because I never did classic on the channel, and then we'll do definitive again. Because we did definitive last time 3 years ago. Judging by the reviews, I'm very pleased I didn't buy Modern Warfare 3, as apparently the campaign is terrible and I can play the same multiplayer maps in the original Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, I guess there's that, Luke. You know, I purchased it mainly for the campaign. That was the thing that I purchased it for. When am I going to start playing the Alan Wake games? That's actually been a heavily requested game on my channel. People have asked for that one a lot. What is Alan Wake even? I know it's made by the same people that made Max Payne, right? But, like, what is it even? It's like a game of ghosts, right? It's a horror game. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I don't really know much about it. I have Alan Wake 1. I downloaded it on I think it was... I got it from PlayStation Plus, I'm pretty sure, like, a long time ago. Well, I never, you know, even played it. So, yeah, anyone can play, you know, Modern Warfare Zombies with me. I'll give it a try, but honestly speaking, I don't think I'm going to enjoy the Modern Warfare Zombies that much. I don't think I will, because the Modern Warfare Zombies are probably just going to be bullet sponges. That's probably what it's going to be. It's probably going to be like you and your squad, and it's going to be like you shooting like one boss zombie like multiple times until it dies. That's probably what I think it's going to be like. And the thing is, though, one thing they could do to make Modern Warfare Zombies better is they could add PvP to it. That's what they could do to make it better. You know, they could maybe they could make like a PvP mode and a PvE mode to like make both groups of players happy. But like the thing about Modern Warfare Zombies is you can encounter other players that are not in your squad. And like my question is, what's the point of encountering other players in the lobby if you can't kill them? Like I don't go around killing people for no reason in DMZ, but there is always that risk in DMZ that you're gonna get jumped by somebody, that somebody's just gonna, you know, try to attack you, try to take your stuff. That's the thing about it, because I'll tell you something, playing against griefers in DMZ, it gets really annoying. Like when a griefer, you know, takes all your stuff in DMZ. But one thing that I found very satisfying about DMZ is when you encounter scumbags and you get a good team together and you just wipe them out and you just kill them. Like you just wipe out an annoying squad that was talking crap to you. That was like one of the satisfying things about DMZ, when you wipe a squad that's talking crap. And so it's like, why is it in Modern Warfare Zombies you can't kill other players? I don't get that. Like, there should be some element of PvP, I guess, in there. Like, that's why, honestly speaking, I would have much rather they continue DMZ. If they just continued DMZ, I would have been happy with that. So that's just, I like DMZ personally. That's what I've always played. So that's just my view on it. Maybe I'll do a video giving my thoughts on the zombies when it comes out, but that's, I'm definitely going to be reviewing the campaign, by the way. So if you guys want to know, will I be giving my thoughts on the campaign, I'll be reviewing it. Just please no spoilers. I think I'm like halfway through. The only thing I'll say is the last... I recorded a part earlier, and it's uploading right now. The part that I got up into in the campaign is the stadium mission. The stadium mission in Verdansk. That's the only thing I'm going to say. That's what I got up to. So that's... I don't know how much of the campaign I got left, but that's where I'm right now. The stadium mission in Verdansk. Okay. Thank you, Landon. Also, 2 game scenes that have an accurate depiction of getting, are Henry's, death in Mafia 2 by the tries and the dude who drank the bait in Undead Nightmare. Oh. Well, thank you, Landon, for the super chat. You know, I'm gonna have a video that you're gonna love one day, Landon, and it's gonna be about Henry. I'm gonna do a lore video on Henry and explaining the whole thing with Henry, what happened exactly. I think you'll love that when I make that video one day. What is my favorite Call of Duty campaign? That's easy. Black Ops 1. I'm still Sofa King mad I got spoiled Edge Runners. Oh. Well, people spoiling it can be, you know, people spoiling things can be really annoying. You know what I had spoiled for me? I had Red Dead Redemption 2 spoiled for me. I had that happen to me. I was doing Red Dead Redemption 2 stream and I was doing the story for the first time on stream like 5 years ago when it came out, and I had some guy super chat me over Who Betrays You. So like literally he super chatted me over Who Betrays You and who died, and that was like, I don't even know why he did that, but that was annoying. Can you do a lore video on why Simeon never goes after Franklin? Well, I mean, it's, yes, Drifter, kids, that's what it was. But can you do a video on why Simeon doesn't go after Franklin? Well, it doesn't really make sense. Like, you know, Franklin obviously has connections to a degree. Simeon, I think, knows that. So I don't know why Simeon would still go after him. Pro, what do you think of the Modern Warfare 3 campaign? What I will tell you about the Modern Warfare 3 campaign, the open combat missions kind of suck. I don't like them. I mean, does anybody else agree with me? Those open combat missions kind of really suck. I was confused on why Henry was coercing Vito and Joe to sell drugs with him. Why would he do that if he was a Fed? Well, Henry wasn't a Fed. He was a government informant. So there's a difference. Fed is when you're an agent, basically. He was a government informant. And basically what Henry was doing is Henry was entrapment. That's what he was doing. He was entrapping Vito and Joe. Today, if somebody tried to entrap you today, typically in most courts it would fail. The case would get completely thrown out. However, back then, entrapment, in like the 1950s, it was a lot easier to prosecute people for entrapment. For people that don't know what entrapment is basically when the police or somebody working for the police try to get you to commit a crime. Like they pressure you to commit a crime. That's what entrapment is. So it's when somebody that's undercover in the police, or it's somebody that works for the police, because it could also be for somebody that works for the police, when they encourage you to commit a crime, that's entrapment. That's what Henry was doing in Mafia 2. Don't forget about my last super chat about the horror games. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Let me see here. Are you a fan of horror games like Five Nights at Freddy's? Thank you, Notorious, also earlier for that super chat. Thank you, Nico. I'm more of a fan of games like Outlast. If you guys watch my Outlast playthrough, I did Outlast like a few days ago on Halloween. Outlast is kind of fun to do. Herbert Moon lore video. I did talk about him years ago. he doesn't play that much of a role in Red Dead Redemption 1. But you see him in Red Dead Redemption 2 in the store, though. What the? New Modern Warfare episode, it'll be up later tonight. Do you think that the open combat missions are literally just Warzone matches with AI? Yeah, I do. They kind of suck. Do you think that YouTube has kind of scared some content creators? There's this animation that used to do adult humor, but they turned it down, like censoring everything. It's SMG4. Well, what's SMG4? But let's go to Justin's business. What I'll tell you about YouTube is the amount of times that YouTube demonetizes videos and age restricts them. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. If somebody isn't doing something horrible in like a video, they should really be able to post whatever they want. I don't understand. Like, I made a Johnny Klebitz lore video on his ghost, and that video had gotten demonetized. Not only did it get demonetized, but it got age restricted, and I don't even know why. Like, I don't know what I did wrong in that video that it got age restricted. I want to apologize for trauma dumping in chat. Then it was extremely toxic and hurt relations between myself and the community. I'm taking action. It's okay, Mr. Waifu. I'm glad everything is better for you now, though. It's okay, man.
Make this set.
Here we go. This is gonna be a police ambush, by the way. I know it because when he says we're gonna make this sale, it's always a police ambush every time he says that. When he says you're bikers, it's not a police ambush. Everyone call Lester right now. Get Lester ready on the phone. Because when I get there, I'm going to alert the cops immediately. So everyone just start calling Lester. I'm a mile out. The YouTube algorithm and monetization are essentially being handled by a computer and not actual staff anymore. It's pretty broken. Oh, yeah. Well, it's a computer most of the time just flags the videos for demonetization, which I don't even know how it chooses that. But what happens is then there's some bureaucrat that's like just accepts it. Like most of the time, the bureaucrats at YouTube, when you ask them to like review a video, they don't even bother reviewing it. They just instantly hit demonetize to on it. Best Saints Row missions from each rival gang. Thank you, DL Gaming in London. I think the best mission in the Ronin story was the mission with Aisha's funeral.
Why, hello, how you doing?
I think that the best mission in the Brotherhood storyline was either
No problem.
the nuclear power plant mission, or it was the mission with the fireworks, or also the when you attack Merrill's warehouse. That was also pretty good too. So most of the Brotherhood missions were pretty good. The Sons of Samdi, best mission in the Sons of Samdi was probably the one where you confront Mr. Sunshine, or maybe the one with when you're high in the limo. That one was pretty good too. Best mission for the Carnales in Saints Row 1. Trying to think what would be the best Carnales mission. I think the last mission at the airport. Best mission for the best mission for the rollers. Best rollers mission would probably be the last mission where you're blowing up all the cars in the truck. And the last mission, best mission for the Vice Kings. Probably the final mission, yeah. I'm gonna look at the chat in a second here. I just want to deliver this bike.
You fucking... Oh my god.
I think I know a shortcut here. There we go. Bully is going to be coming out right after I finish Undead Nightmare, and the video of me pissing off the scammers is going to be out next week. Someone should remove that computer from handling. Yeah, I would agree with you, Lendon. Thank you, DL Gaming and Lendon, and thank you guys for those super chats. Do you think there are similarities between Don Salieri and Dutch from Red Dead Redemption 2? Yeah, I do. But I think that Salieri was always a complete scumbag. There's one thing I always what was it? Did Pepe die in Mafia Definitive Edition? For people that don't know who Pepe is, he's the guy at the restaurant. Remember, you take Don Salieri to the restaurant, and then Morello's crew just comes over and just shoots up the place. Did Pepe get hit in that? I'm trying to remember whether he did or not. Would you ever do a Devil in Me gameplay? Yes, I actually have that game. I just never got a chance to. I never got a chance to play it. He did. Yeah. So look at this. So like that entire restaurant. In the original, he survived. So in the definitive edition, he died. So. He got hit in the crossfire. He's one of the first to die. So, basically, that mission alone shows you what a scumbag Salieri is. Because when he's at the restaurant gets shut up, and he just basically talks about how he wasn't able to finish his wine and gets really angry about that they tried to kill him. But all the innocent people that died in the restaurant because Salieri was there, doesn't care. He doesn't even mention them. Doesn't. It's like they're like nothing to him. So that's what I say. Salieri is a piece of crap.
Doing?
Pro, do you remember me? I do, Kai? Are you not as interested in Dark Pictures games as you used to be? I am. I just haven't gotten the chance to play the last one, but I will. Don't fire missiles at those bikes that are chasing me, because the missiles can sometimes hit me. So just don't do that. The bikes aren't a threat to me. They can't do anything to me. The Vampire Masquerade games, that game's like a big RPG game. I was considering playing that game one day too, yeah. Should Rockstar add more optics for weapons? No, I think they should just add more weapons in general, more guns. Like, when's the last time we got a new sniper rifle? Like, I want a new sniper rifle. I want a good sniper rifle added to the game. Hey, Fire, Starheart, how are you? Oh yeah, I definitely would want them back, Mr. Coffee. We got a new sniper, but it sucks. Yeah, but I don't count that. It's garbage. Could you do a charity stream? Yes, we will be doing a charity stream on Christmas Eve. Every Christmas Eve, I always do a charity stream. So I do 2 charity streams every year. I do one like in the summertime, close to my birthday, and then I do another one in every Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve, we'll do a charity stream. I don't know what charity I'll pick, but I'll pick something good, and we'll do a nice charity stream. And you guys can feel comfortable with that, because every time, whenever you see sometimes the fundraisers on my videos, like the charities on the side of my videos, like right now I have breast cancer on the, some of my videos on the side of it, like the Breast Cancer Foundation. The charities, I research them, I check them, I make sure that they're good. So I'm very picky when I, research charities. Hey Pro, I'm halfway through my 2nd year of college. Do you have any advice on college or life? I've been watching you since I was in 8th grade in 2018. Thank you, William Will. If you mind me asking, what is your college degree? You don't have to super chat me again. Just type in the comments and I'll try to find your comment. Why are these NPCs crashing into me? But the thing about for your 2nd year of college, the thing is, though, is college, I found a lot of my professors to be pretty chill in college, and it actually, when I was in high school, they were making it seem like college was going to be this really strict, hard thing, but in reality, it was actually a lot of times it was easier than high school for me. The teachers were more chill than the teachers in high school. You're majoring in accounting. Oh, do you like that? Do you enjoy that, William? Is that something that you like? That's the question. Because I tried accounting. I tried to do business originally, and I took course in accounting. I hated it. And the thing about accounting is I understood a decent amount of it when I was researching it and doing the course, but I just didn't like it. It just was not for me. I just like this person. I just didn't like it. So you got to make sure though that you enjoy that. There's nothing wrong with liking that, by the way. But for me, it just personally wasn't there. No messages. Thank you for streaming. Have a great night. Well, thank you, Tyler Boy19. Thank you, man, for the super chat. Do you like that though, William?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I love it. Then that's what's the most important. As long as you like what you're doing, that is what is the most important. A lot of times, what people do is people oftentimes choose careers they don't like, but only because those careers pay a lot of money. People do that a lot of times. And I'm telling you, you're not going to be happy by doing that. If you choose a job that you absolutely hate, but pays well, you're going to hate dreading going to work every day. Sure, you might get money from it, good money, but it's just going to stress you out every time you go to work, and it's just not going to make you want to, come in. You're also a landlord, Pro? Yes, I am. I am a landlord. I own a rental property. What is this here? Is this one of the drug vehicles? I'm trying to remember what is this here. What is this here? Is this a drug vehicle? Lose the cops? Okay. Hold on a second. I'm gonna just deliver this here. Is Landlord a good job? Being a landlord can be great, or it can be a nightmare. Being a landlord, depending on whether being a landlord is great or being a nightmare, it depends on two factors. There's two major factors in that. The first factor is what kind of property did you purchase, and the second factor is what kind of tenants that you have. Because do you know what the stupidest thing that I see a lot of landlords do? A lot of times, the dumbest thing they do is landlords oftentimes they buy the cheapest property that they can find on the market, and then they think, oh, I'm just going to turn this into a cash cow and I'm going to start making money from this. So landlords do this all the time, where they'll just look for the cheapest property, they'll buy the cheapest property, and they think that they don't have to put work into it, they don't think they have to fix anything, and then they like bring tenants in, and then things are constantly breaking and tenants are complaining, and so it's, you know, tenants have a right to complain in that regard. So it's so that's what I say is when I personally do rental properties, I refuse to even consider a property that's that's over 20 years old. If it's over 20 years old, I refuse to buy the property. I will only buy properties that are, you know, under 20 years old. And I do that because I might spend a little bit more money on a property, but then I have to deal with a lot less of a headache. I don't have to, you know, worry about something constantly breaking in the house and having to constantly fix it. But the second thing is you know, tenants, because tenants can be a hit or a miss. Tenants can really be a hit or a miss with you. You can have great tenants, or you can have absolutely terrible tenants. Here. What's your most hated rival gangsters in Saints Row? My most hated Saints Row character in the original Saints Row games. You're talking about the original ones, right? Saints Row 1 and 2. Weed successfully delivered. Okay. What kind of mission was that? I never did that mission before. Does anybody know what that was? I think wasn't that one of the new like drug war missions? My most hated character in the I would say maybe Shogo or Marrow. I didn't like either of them. They're great villains, but I decided I'll be selling my truck through the private market. Not in a rush to sell it, but I'm sure I will get what I'm looking for. Yeah, and you can the thing about this is if you're gonna sell your car, don't sell your car to a car dealership. Sell it to a private buyer, because a private buyer is gonna pay you more because they're gonna drive it. Car dealerships wants to flip it. So that's what people the worst thing that people do when people sell stuff, whatever it is, a car, a you know, house, you know, or even just a valuable item, anything in general. The best person that you always want to sell something to, is the person that's going to use it. So if you're selling a car, sell it to a person that's going to use the car, not to a dealership, because a dealership is going to rip you off. They want to flip the car. If you're going to be selling a house, sell it to somebody who's going to live in the house. Don't sell it to you know, an investor, because then, or a company, because they're going to want to flip the house too. If you're, you know, selling like, you know, items, you know, don't sell it to pawn shops. Sell it, you know, to a person that's going to want the item, because you always get more money from them. Two of my friends changed to just business majors for money. That's that is, you know, they might not necessarily be happy later in life if they don't enjoy that. Have you ever read the book The Prince by Machiavelli? Yes, I read that a long time ago. Just supporting the channel, loving Red Dead stuff right now, excellent stuff. Thank you, Guy Lee. Thank you for the super chat. But yes, so get this. Let me join the. I'm not in a. Okay, I'm not in an MC right now. Let me join an MC. I'll help Marcus out. Okay, so basically, I had these tenants that were living in my house, and the tenants that were living in my house, I had them living there for, what was it? I had them living there for nearly a year. And for the most part, there was no issues. There was no problems with those tenants. And what the issues that I started having with those tenants, this was my first group of tenants, the issues that I started having with them is right when they were moving out. Because what happened was, whenever they needed anything, I was there, I helped them out. And when they were, there was like 3 months left in the lease. And I told them, I was like, you guys want to renew with me? Like, you guys want to stay as, you know, my tenants? I'm not going to raise your rent. I'm going to keep your rent the exact same. So nothing's going up if you want to sign another year with me. And, you know, they told me they got to think about it. Then they got back to me and said, you know, no, we're going to do business in another town. Because they were roofers. So they were like, it was a couple that did like roofing. And they have they wanted to expand to another town. And what ends up happening is, I start putting, I go to my property management company. Now, I don't have the property management company manage the property for me. I manage the property on my own. But what I have the property management company do for me is they do tenant placement, where they find a tenants for me. The tenants, so basically what they'll do is they'll create a lease, like a contract. They will advertise my home, and they'll look for people and do a background check, you know, everything like that, and just find good tenants for my rental property. And what in exchange, they get 80% of the first month's rent. So whatever the first month's rent is, they get 80% of it, and then after that, I keep the entire rent 100%. But I'm responsible for managing the property. So I've always done that. That's how I find tenants. Is I have them do the tenant placement. So basically, what happens is I have the property management company start looking for tenants, and then what ends up happening is they find a few candidates. And then what ends up happening is those original tenants that lived in my house, they said, we wanna stay with you. We wanna renew the lease with you. And then I said, okay, you know, let's put a hold on the other leases for now, and we'll renew with them. And so what ends up happening is the property management company sends the lease to the husband and sends the lease to the wife. The wife signs the lease. The husband doesn't. And then like a few days passes, like the weekend, they're not answering. It gets to Monday. And husband basically sends me this long text message, like it's a long one saying like, oh, you know, we decided not to renew with you, we're sorry, we're going to like another, like, you know, we're going to like another town and everything like that. And at that point, I got a bit annoyed, because what happened is I had like tenants that were already ready for the, to move in. Like they didn't sign like leases and everything yet, but I had people that wanted to. And we put a hold on that, and they were just telling me, like, oh, we're not going to renew, and then we're like, we want to renew, and then I set up, like, a lease for them and everything like that, and the husband signed it, the wife signed it, and then the husband didn't, and then basically just delayed the whole procedure, and I got a bit annoyed by that. And what happened was, I found out later on that there was a little bit more to what they were not telling me. There was some personal things that they were going through, like some family issues, nothing to do with me, but just them arguing with each other. And what ends up happening is that I had like a keypad in the garage in my rental property. And that keypad, what it would do is when you go into the garage, you punch the numbers in, and then the door unlocks to the house. When they moved out, and I put that code in, the code did not work. And I contacted my tenants and I said to them, like, did you change the code? And they're like, no, it didn't. And so what I did was I got a handyman to come over and take a look at the thing. And they apparently did change the code. So what happened was there was problems going on between the tenants. The tenants had family problems going on between each other. And so one of their family members, they didn't want one of their family members coming into the house. And so they changed the code. But the tenants would not tell me what the new code was, and the guy couldn't figure out the code, he couldn't program it, and so I had to get a whole new keypad installed. I had to get that one drilled out, and I had to get a new one installed. So that personally pissed me off a bit, and it annoyed me, you know, that whole thing happened. But at that point, I was basically, you know what, just, you know, screw it, I don't want to deal with them anymore. I'm just going to get nice tenants, and I've had nice tenants so far, and they haven't caused me any problems, and it's been good for the property, for the most part. No, I wasn't locked out. I had keys to the property, too. But it was that they changed the code without telling me, and they wouldn't tell me the new code, and that got me a bit annoyed. And then delaying the whole process on the application, that was a bit annoying. So they held me up a bit. There was no damage to the property, thankfully, or anything like that. But it was a bit frustrating. I had to get a new keypad installed and everything like that. So that part did annoy me a little bit. How do you know if a property is going to be profitable?
Hey.
The thing about that is you don't know 100%. You have like an idea.
Can't handle the heat, my friend.
Aren't they rich, Pro?
Okay, leave it with creepy Uncle Lester.
Here's the thing about this. The tenants who lived at my property, the people who lived at my rental property, they were rich. They were rich. They were millionaires, the people that I rented out to. And I wasn't renting out a mansion to them. I was renting out like a 4-bedroom house. How do I know they're rich? Because they have a roofing company that is in 3 states. And not only do they have the roofing company in 3 states, I think they have like 50 employees in total. And on top of that, they own 3 houses. And they own an office building. They don't rent the office building, they own the office building. So I know these people have, just personally way more money than me. But there was just, they wanted to rent out my house because they were expanding into my town. So that town, they had no connections there. They were expanding it. They were from Montana or Idaho. I'm trying to remember. They were from a mountain state, and they came to the state that I live in the Midwest, and they were expanding to that state. And they lived there for some time, and then afterwards, So that's the thing is that a lot of times the people don't think about that a lot of times. A lot of times people think that landlords are typically the ones who are richer than the tenants. But sometimes the tenants actually have more money than the landlord. A lot of times people don't think about that. Is it legal to change the code without telling the property owner? I don't know about that. But in the contract that I had with them on the lease, I told them what the code was, the keypad code. So they knew what the keypad code was. And I didn't put anything in the contract that they can't change the code, so I didn't put anything in the lease like that, so I guess it's technically not breaking the lease. But it was very scummy of them that the fact that they changed the code on the door, and they didn't tell me what the new code was. They didn't. They kept telling me, oh, we didn't change the code, and yet what happened is when I had a guy take a look at it, and he took it apart, he told me they changed the code. And this guy I trust. The guy who took it apart, I trust him 100%. I've worked with this guy for years. He's a great handyman. He's always honest. And so I trust his word over their word. And so that's, so I had to get a new keypad installed. And it was the old code just wasn't working, and that was just I don't know why they did that personally, because I always treated them with respect. I never pulled any crap on them. And the thing is, a few times they were actually late on their payments. A few times on their rent payments, and whenever they were late on their rental payments, I would just text them and I would just say to them, I was like, what's going on? Is everything okay with the house? It's like 3-4 days late on the rent. And what they would do is they would get back to me and they would just start texting me, apologizing, like, oh, sorry, we're out of town, we're on a business trip and stuff like that. And it's like, well, wire you the money right now. And they would wire me the money right now, but then a few months later, the exact same thing would happen again. And they're like, oh, we're sorry, we're on a business trip. And it was just, the thing about that is I could have charged a late fee. I could have done that, but I'm not like a scumbag like that. Like, I don't do stuff like that. So all I wanted was I just wanted the month's rent. That's all. It's my property. It's my rental. It's, how I make a living, too. It's part of it. So that's all I wanted. I'm not some greedy scumbag landlord that's going out, going after people. But I would just like them to pay on time. That's all I asked for. Let's see here. I'm just supporting the channel. Love the Red Dead stuff. Thank you, Guiley. I love your idea of a North Yankton heist. We can rob a military complex in the middle of a blizzard, and we can steal loot like gold and artifacts. Yeah, I mean, they could do something like Fort Knox in, like, North Yankton, some, like, military base that's storing gold or something like that. And, like, maybe there's, like, one approach where you, like, dress up as, like, a military officer or something like that, and you come into the base. So I can imagine them doing something like that in North Yankton. That would be cool. Your property rule is not a good way to buy property. You can have a house from 1953 with no issues and one from 2013 that is falling apart. It depends, Mark. Mark, I agree with you. It really depends on the house. Some older houses are better than newer houses. I agree with you on that. But this house that I purchased, the rental property that I own, it's a house that was built in 2012, and I have not had any issues with it. None. So that's so it's it's approaching the second year that I've owned that rental, and I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. So that's why I'm just hesitant to buy old properties, because I'm just scared that something's gonna go wrong with it. I own several homes built in the 1800s with little issues, I guess. And I'm glad it worked out for you, but me personally, I just couldn't do that. I would just be personally scared that there's something wrong with the house. That's just the way I am. How much did you pay the handyman pro? I don't remember. This happened like, you know, half a year ago or so, or something. But I remember I paid like around $100 for a new keypad, and he installed it for me. He didn't charge much, so he didn't take a lot, but he programmed it and installed it for me. The thing about this, though, is, I'll tell you something, is I've kind of learned my lesson on, like, the rent, on the rent payments, because I found that if you're a landlord, right, and somebody, wait, is nobody taking the other motorcycles? What's going on here? I guess I'll let me see here. Oh, they're moving. I found personally that if you're a landlord, and somebody, like, if somebody's, like, a day or two late, it's not a big deal, it's whatever. But if somebody is, like, you know, let's just say 4 or 5 days late at that point, if something like that happens, then my policy, the way I personally do things now, is if somebody is late by, like, 4 or 5 days on their rent, like, if they're late, like, a day or two, I don't text them, I don't say anything about it. But if they're, like, late, like, 4 or 5 days, that's the point where I'll, you know, send them a text, I'll ask them what's going on. And typically, my new policy, how I do things, is if they're late, like, the first time, you know, 4 or 5 days, I'll just say to them that, you know, it's okay, you know, I'm not going to charge you any kind of fee, but, you know, please don't do this again. But if they do it again at the second point, I'll charge a fee at that point, because they've been warned at that point. So it's like, it's nice just to, you know, give them a break, you know, tell them that it's, you know, it's okay, but if you don't want to give them a break every time, because then people are going to take advantage of you, and they're going to keep doing it. So that's just basically what I say about it. Like, a lot of people have this false impression of landlords, that, like, all landlords are, like, scumbags and greedy and stuff like that. It's not true. There's, like, plenty of landlords who own, like, 1 or 2 rental properties, and they just make a living off that. They're not scummy. They're fair to their tenants. I always treat my tenants with respect. I'm not scummy. I don't pull any of that crap. But there are scumbag tenants. There are tenants who take advantage of good landlords, and they do crappy things. I've seen it happen before. Not at my rental property, but at my... I grew up in a rental property personally that my parents owned. It was like a small apartment building. If anybody has ever played... watch Spider-Man, the old Spider-Man movies, like the one with Tobey Maguire, if you see the apartment building that Peter lives in, like, it's between, like, 2 taller buildings. It's like that small little apartment building, maybe like 3 or 4 apartment units. It's like Mr. Ditkovich, like the Ukrainian guy that, like, owns the apartment. That's that apartment building. That kind of building is very similar to the type of building I grew up in New York, and Spider-Man nailed that building correctly. That's exactly what those buildings look like. Very similar to the one that I grew up in. My parents owned it, and it was like, we had 4 units in the apartment building. And so I've seen, like, really scummy tenants. Like, I've lived there. Me and my parents lived in 1 unit when I was a kid, and we just seen some really, really scummy tenants. There were some good tenants that we had, but there were some really scummy bad tenants that we've had. So there are people, damn door, yeah, give me rent, talking about houses ever had a rodent problem, well, thankfully never. No, I've never had any kind of issue like that. Thank you, Uplands boys, for the super chat. Is your house ever vacant throughout the year? No. I always have somebody that's renting or paying rent. When my tenants moved out, the old tenants, the house was abandoned for 2 months, in that time. And what happened is, the house was abandoned for 2 months, but they were still paying rent. So they were still on the lease, they still had to pay the rent, but they just weren't living there. But it was beneficial to me, because they at least gave me permission to go in the house, even though the house was empty. But I was able to, you know, to get the house ready, everything like that, make sure the house is all clean, there was no issues with the house, did an inspection on the house, got everything ready for the new tenants. So, you know, that window did give me, did let me at least check out the house. Is YouTube a better pay than your rental property? Not talk about donations? No. I would say that, like, out of all of my money, all of the money that I earn, I would say that, like, 5% of the money that I earn comes from, like, how do I explain, like, the interest on, like, high yield savings. So there are specific, you know, there are specific programs and services that you can have where you just have your money, and you get a percentage back of it. It's not like loans or anything like that, but that's like a small fraction of my money comes from that. I would say 70 to 80% of my money comes from YouTube, and then I would say like 20% of my money comes from my rental. So my rental property is not even half the money of my YouTube channel. It's just it's an extra side amount of money that I have that I just like to. And the reason I wanted to build a rental property was for two reasons. The first reason is I want to diversify my income because I didn't just want to be dependent on YouTube. I don't want just my entire 100% of my money to come from YouTube. I mean, YouTube is great. I love YouTube. I love streaming for you guys and, you know, doing videos. But the thing about that is I just don't want to be dependent on this one source. I personally think everybody should be diversify their income and have incomes coming from different sources. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do a rental property. I looked into other ways to make money and stuff like that, like owning a business and stuff like that. I was like, I don't want to run a business. I don't want to deal with that and deal with customers and stuff like that. I want to look for something more simple. And so rental properties still deal with, you know, tenants, customers, but it's just not as complicated as running a business. And the second reason that I wanted to purchase a rental property was because it's a way for me to keep my money and my investments safe. Because when you have like inflation is getting bad, the government is stupid, they keep printing money, they don't know what they're doing, then in that type of situation, any money that you have saved up, your money loses value over time. So the money that you worked for your entire life, that money you're losing value in it over time because of inflation. Your money's just draining away slowly in the bank. And so buying a rental property allows me to get money back from that investment, but also on top of that, it keeps my money safe in real estate. Because real estate, typically the value of land goes up in most cases. So typically over the years, the value of land goes up. And so if you buy land in like an area that's developing and like that area develops like a lot of more houses, more properties over time, the value of the land goes up. And so it's a way for me to keep my money safe because my money is always in the house. I can always sell the house, you know, that I could do that. And, you know, get my money back and probably a little extra from it too. So that's personally why I run a rental. What is it here? You should have a logo at the start of your videos. I don't know about that. I thought about that. You know, I'm not really worried about people stealing my content. I'm not, you know, personally worried about that. It hasn't really ever happened. There was one time where some guy was actually stealing my content, and this guy was from Iran, and he was recording the videos in Persian, and he was making like lore videos and like, you know, top 5, top 10 videos, and it was the exact same as my content. The only difference is he was saying everything that I was saying, but he was saying in Persian. He was monetizing it, and he was and he used my thumbnails too. So he used my thumbnails, and whenever I would say hello, it's the professional here, he would never have that in the video. So he would instead, if people want to translate my videos, that's fine. I don't really care about stuff like that. But it's the fact he was like using my thumbnails, like, you know, making money off of my videos, saying that it was his own credit, his own work, his own lore content and stuff. I never took action against the channel, so I don't know what happened to the channel, but a few people warned me about some guy doing that. It was only a channel with a few hundred subscribers, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but that's the only time I ever had issues with somebody actually stealing my content. Let's get to the boats here. Did my parents teach you this? Teach me what? Do I understand German? No, I don't speak German. Put a watermark on your video. Maybe. But putting a watermark on your video, it's not really going to stop people from stealing it, because they can just cut the watermark off. It's only like a small portion. There was a quote I heard from somewhere, and I want to share it. Your first car should be making you money, not taking it away. I would agree with that, Victor, yeah. Your first car is just somewhere to get you from point A to point B. I would agree with you on that, Victor. Okay, let's get over here. What do you think is better investment, index funds or rental properties? I would say rental properties are always the safest. I don't even really do the stock market anymore. I kind of stopped. I stay away from that now. I did well in the stock market in the past, but I just don't want to. I don't want to do it anymore because it's just too risky, personally. Also, that question Makarov gave you in the first mission, he chose prisoners. Neither hold power. That's just temporary things in gulags. Well, gulags are, gulags are really, really cramped prisons that are in Siberia typically, and the prisoners just have such terrible conditions in them and they outnumber the guards greatly that if there's a riot, the prisoners could easily overrun the guards. That's what happened to my great-grandfather. My great-grandfather was sent to a gulag by Stalin. He survived, but he had to fight to survive in the gulag. It was, it was horrible. Have you ever played the Infamous series? Yes, I have. I played Infamous 1 and 2, and I played Second Son. Do you recommend investing in Bitcoin? No. No. Any cryptocurrency crap, I stay away from that. Owning houses and renting them. Did your parents teach you this? No, I taught myself this. My parents actually did not want me to purchase a rental property because they said that it was gonna bring trouble because they had this really bad experiences with tenants in the past. Do I invest in precious metals? No, I don't do any of that stuff. Literally, I don't do anything complicated. I don't do any cryptocurrency crap. I don't do any stocks anymore. Literally, I just have my money sitting in like a high yield savings, and just owning a rental property in YouTube. That's it. I don't do any investments or anything like that. I think the Modern Warfare 3 campaign is pretty bad to a degree. Yeah, right now, I would agree. When's the next part of your Modern Warfare playthrough coming out? Today after the stream. Okay. You know what? I might Are they gonna have any? Is there any Black Friday deals on iPhones? Because the last time I haven't had a new phone in like 3 years. Roughly close to 3 years. So it's I'm thinking about getting a new iPhone. That's just what I'm thinking about getting, like Black Friday. Maybe I'll do that if there's like a good deal. Because me personally, I think it's a waste of money to spend $1,000 on a phone. I think that's way too much money to spend on a phone. That's just the way I am. I'm not cheap or anything, but I just think that's way too much money to spend on a phone. But if they have like some really good deal on Black Friday, maybe I'll get a new phone. What iPhone do you have? Honestly, I don't even know what iPhone I have. That's how bad I am with phones. I don't know. This phone I've had for what, I think 2.5 years. Is there even a way for me to tell what iPhone I have? I don't even know how to tell what iPhone I have. I have to go into settings, right? Settings, I think. I don't even know how to tell what iPhone I have.
Cryptocurrency.
Okay. Okay. About. Oh, it says iPhone 13. That's the one that I have. I got this phone like 2 years ago. 2.5 years ago. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was like 2.5 years ago. So it's iPhone 13. That's the one I have. I remember I got this phone for free, I think. It was my carrier gave me a deal on it. Should I get that new iPhone 15? Should I get it, guys? Because it's like, my iPhone 13 is slow. Like, it's slow. It's not as fast as it used to be. And I'm thinking about getting, like, the big screen one. Because I have the small screen phone. I'm thinking about getting, like, the big screen one. What's the big screen thing called? That's the Plus? Is that the big screen one? But I don't know now. Don't get the 15. It will blow up, what? Oh, super chat? I'm sorry I didn't see earlier. Neither the guards or the prisoners hold power in a gulag. Riot breaks out because the guards. I saw your super chat earlier though, and the question. Wait. Did I wait? You posted 2. Because the guards die first from the numbers, inmates die from the soldiers. Oh, I guess you're right, London. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you, Caleb, for sponsoring my channel. Thanks, man. No, you'll burn your fingers. There's people that are saying the iPhone 15 that it has like problems. Have the problems been fixed with it? Because I don't want to buy a phone that's gonna burn in my hands. If anything, I'll just get the iPhone 14. I'm due for a new phone anyways. Like I know my carrier will give me some deal, I think. So I'll just do that. Pro, is privacy a right? Absolutely. Privacy is definitely a right. The government does not have any right to know what you're doing in your personal time. If you are not hurting anybody, if you're not committing any kind of crime, the government really has no right to know what you're doing in your private time. They have no right. They have no right to listen to your phone calls, read your emails, any of that. The only time the government should be able to read your emails or listen to your phone calls if they get a warrant. That's the only time. They have absolutely no right whatsoever to invade your privacy, read your emails, read your phone. I don't care about what the government says. I don't care what law they pass. In my personal viewpoint, I don't think they have any right to do that. I don't think they have a right. I'm a big privacy guy. I'm a big free speech guy too. So I don't like government intruding in people's personal lives. But they can get a warrant from a corrupt judge, I guess. But at least that they have to go through somebody at least. Get the 14 Plus if you want a bigger screen, bro. Okay. The thing about this, guys, is the government can spy on you, but if you spy on the government, oh, that's a crime now. So I'm not saying spying on the government is right or you should do it, but that's the thing is, government can read your emails, spy on you, but if you spy on the government, that's a crime. So that's what I say. I don't think the government has any right to personally spy on people. The only time I think the government has a right to spy on somebody is if they get a warrant. That's the only time. Okay, let's go here. What carrier to use? Verizon. There are a few furniture stores in GTA 5 like U-Tool store in the freeway in Blaine County and that Lars and Elbow store in LS that's a parody of IKEA, so the mansion DLC would make sense. Yeah. I could definitely see them doing that. Do you know about Edward Snowden or Julian Assange? Yes, I'm aware of both of them. My personal viewpoint on the my personal viewpoint on Edward Snowden is I think he should receive a pardon. I think he should. Whoever the president is, I think the president should give him a pardon, and I think he should come back because he doesn't want to sit there in Russia. He wants to come back to America. That's his country. But I don't think necessarily what he did was wrong, in my opinion. Feel free to disagree with me, but the government was violating a lot of times, people that defend the government spying on somebody, oftentimes they will say that there's no right to privacy in the Constitution, but there actually is a right to privacy in the Constitution. If you read the Fourth Amendment is against illegal search and seizures, and that's pretty much what that is. It's an illegal search and seizure. What they're doing is they're spying on you. They're violating your personal liberty. You're violating your individual liberty. They're violating your personal space, and they don't really have the right to do that. Let's go to the next one here. Well, it really depends on the ads, though, JBK. I don't feel good today. I hope you feel better, Jimmy. I prefer Arthur as a protagonist. Who is he? Edward Snowden was a former NSA agent. That's National Security Agency, where it was like a decade ago when it happened. Like it was like 10 years ago. Basically, what he did was he we pretty much knew that it was happening. We knew that it was happening, but we didn't have documentation of it completely happening. What Edward Snowden did was he saw that the NSA was like spying on thousands of Americans, like thousands, or hundreds of thousands. And what they were doing is they weren't just spying on Americans, they were spying on people in other countries and spying on other world leaders and tapping their phones and stuff. And Snowden, for him personally, he thought that was an invasion of privacy, and he didn't like it. And so what he did was he leaked all that information. And then after he leaked all that information, he fled to Russia, and that's where he's right now. So I don't think that Snowden is personally like a bad guy. I don't think that, did he break the law? Technically, yes. But I think what he did was a form of civil disobedience. I think he should be able to come back to America. I think he should be pardoned because literally the law, the government spying on people in the first place was violating the Constitution. So if the government is breaking the law by spying on people, violating their privacy, and what Edward Snowden did was leak that, I personally think he should be able to come back to America, and I think he should have a pardon. I don't think, I can't imagine how he feels, though, like being so isolated in Russia, like just living in a foreign country, and he's living in a dictatorship, too. Russia is not a, friendly country to necessarily live in. So he's living under a pretty authoritarian government. He wants to come back to America. He doesn't, he want to sit there. He's, gotten homesick, but fortunately he can't. Because if he comes back to America, he's definitely not going to get a fair trial. The government is going to do everything in their power to absolutely destroy him if he comes back. Like, he would have no chance at trial, nothing. Even if he had the best lawyer in the country, he would have no chance at trial, because the government would do everything in their power to imprison him. Okay, let's get over to the drop-offs. Modern Warfare 3 DMZ Campaign Edition. Yep, I agree with you, Diego. That's pretty much what it is. Oh, I'm not going to get into those conflicts. Just don't get into controversial things like that. I gotta start playing Saints Row 4. I might play it later this year, yeah. If Edward Snowden was pardoned, he could definitely make a living in America, definitely. Because even if everybody refuses to hire him, he could just write books. He could give, lectures, stuff like that. I'm sure there's somebody that would hire him to give lectures, stuff like that. So he could probably definitely get a job in America. The thing about that is the government would just probably try to destroy his life, so... out of every GTA Online heist, which do I like the most? Cayo Perico. I just like it because it's the new location, you're robbing a drug lord. Can I please try DVD? What's that? What do I think the top 3 best games of 2023 will be? Honestly, I don't know. Because 2 games that I was looking forward to have been a disaster. I was really looking forward to Payday 3, and Payday 3 was a disaster. In a few years from now, Payday 3 will probably be one of the best games in a few years from now. Once they roll out a bunch of updates and they get a lot of heists going, and they get a lot of DLC set up, Payday 3 will probably be a better game. But it was kind of a disaster at launch. And then Modern Warfare 3 was another game that I was looking forward to. In Modern Warfare 3, the campaign has been a disaster in Modern Warfare 3. It's been a disaster. It's been an epic fail. And so hopefully the multiplayer and the zombies doesn't suck. But the campaign has been a disaster. I haven't played Dead by Daylight. I know it's a game where it's like Outlast, where you run away from killers, but the killers are people. I'm still surprised that Salos managed to create a legion of over 150,000 men in 2 to 3 decades, despite being a follower of the apocalypse. Well, thank you for the super chat, Lendon. It's basically devotion to him without any questions. That he develops like a cult following. Look, here's what I'll tell you about this. Do you know why I can't? You're saying that Snowden was charged with treason. Okay, he might be charged with that. But let me tell you it this way. The same politicians that are in office that accuse Snowden of being a traitor. Do you know what those politicians oftentimes do? They manipulate the stock market. They're involved in inside trading. Have you ever noticed how these politicians, a lot of these politicians, they go into politics, and then after a few years of being in politics, they're multimillionaires? How does that happen? You don't go into politics to become a multimillionaire. You go into politics to serve your country, to do right for your people. You don't go into politics to become a millionaire. But a lot of these politicians, they go into politics, and then a few years later, they're multimillionaires. They're just, you know, they get involved in these stocks. For people that don't know how these politicians are making money, what they basically are doing is they're passing certain laws. They're passing certain laws where they know that the law is going to be passing, and they have inside information on a specific company. And what they will do is they will buy stocks in that company beforehand, and then when a law passes that's maybe in favor of that company or something like that, the stock will boom, and then they'll sell it off and they'll make a lot of money. The best example of this is what happened right before COVID. You know, what happened right before the COVID pandemic happened in America? I remember like February 2020, it was like a month before it came to America. Those guys, those politicians sold all their stocks, everything. Why did they sell their stocks? Because they knew exactly what was going to happen after that. They knew that there was going to be lockdowns. They knew that everything was going to get shut down, and they knew that that their stocks were going to be dropped down in so much money. So, honestly speaking, you know, feel free to disagree with me, but when I hear like politicians say that Edward Snowden is a traitor, but at the same time is they engage themselves in inside trading and become multimillionaires through politics, I can't take them seriously. So that's what it is. That's just my viewpoint on it. Oh, I agree with you, Mirror. They released a teaser trailer for Ace Combat 8. I really hope you're not trolling me. I'll Google this in 1 second. I really hope you're not trolling me. But if you're not, I appreciate you telling me. Let me look here. I'll look in just 1 second here on the Ace Combat 8. Wow, I just did a whole 10-hour shift while Pro gets paid to go live. Well, dude, this is, you know, this is my YouTube channel. This is what I do for a living. But my YouTube channel did not just come out of nowhere. You know, I didn't just start streaming and randomly have 1 million subscribers. So, you know, I spent years, you know, building up this channel, years, and I made guides, lore videos, and all that. I put a lot of work into that. Sometimes I stay up till, you see me streaming right now, but sometimes I stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning, literally, just like editing videos, like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, like just editing lore videos, and I don't get much sleep. Sometimes I'll sleep 4 or 5 hours. Sometimes I barely sleep. That Gerald, if anybody knows that video that I made like a few years ago, it's a video called Who Ratted Out Gerald McCreary? It was like a GTA 4 lore video. That video, do you know what time I went to sleep when I finished that video, the Gerald McCreary video? I went to sleep at 11 o'clock in the morning. That's the time I went to bed, 11 a.m. So that's how long I was editing that video, all night long. So, you know, I worked in retail at one point. I've been there. I've worked, I worked a dead-end job. I wasn't happy with it. And I'm very grateful for the position that I'm in right now, but I'm just saying I've worked very hard on my YouTube channel. It didn't just come out of nowhere. Like, a lot of times this is, and I deal with this happens with people I meet in real life. There's, like, people that I meet in real life, and they're just not nice to me in general, because they basically think they're like, oh, he just got lucky with YouTube. He doesn't do any real work. It's like, you know, I've met people like that in real life. But I've worked really hard in this channel. Let me see here. Let me 10 hours in retail? Yes, I have worked 10-hour shifts in retail, and not only have I done that, but I have done 11-hour shifts sometimes when I'm on truck nights. So I worked on a truck night from, like, you know, 8 p.m. I've been there 8, 9 p.m. until 7, 8 in the morning. I've done that before. So that's unloading a huge heavy truck. Let me see here. I'm gonna look up Ace Combat 8 now. I really hope you're not trolling me that Ace Combat 8 got revealed. Let's see if he's telling the truth. Okay. Okay, one moment here, everyone. Damn, my computer's just being a little slow right now. Okay. Okay, let's see. Ace Combat 8. No, I'm not getting any notifications on any teaser trailer. Where is this teaser trailer you were telling me about earlier?
Hola. ¿Qué tal?
How many copyright strikes did you receive in your entire YouTube career? I haven't received one copyright strike, but I have received 2 community guideline
Si no
strikes.
lo veo, no lo creo.
Just got myself Ark Survival Ascended on Steam. Oh, I hope that you enjoy it, Dark Demon. Thank you for the super chat. Well, somebody else probably would have taken over the open world genre, that random gamer. Pro, I didn't mean that in a bad way. I'm a huge fan of yours and have been following. Okay. Well, you know, I'm sorry if I got a bit annoyed at you then. But it's just, you know, I just had that happen in real life where there's people that, like, there are people that, they don't necessarily, treat me well. I don't even really talk about my channel, but they just, yeah. They just basically think that all I do is I just sit there and play video games. That's all they think I do. I had a friend of mine, there was one of my friends in real life, one of his friends, basically got into it with me a bit, and started criticizing me, because he basically told me that what I do is not a real job, it's not an actual job, it's not actual work, and so that was, yeah. What happened to the game 171? Well, it's had a few setbacks, and I think they were reusing some video game assets. Would you say the Acid Lab is better than the MC businesses? Yes, because it's solo-friendly, and it's easy to produce. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, I'm just waiting for the deliveries to be made here.
I don't give a fuck. You keyed my car.
Well, I don't really sell MC solo, I do them with friends. I saw the picture, Mario, but I just didn't get the chance to respond to you. You worked weeks on lore videos which have been demonetized. People have no idea of the struggle on YouTube. Well, thank you, Mr. Rollfist. You know, do you know what hurt me? I'll tell you guys a story once. What hurt me so much once, it was like, there was a video that I made, like a year ago. And the video that I made a year ago was, it was top 5 good and honorable things that CJ did. You guys remember that one, right? That video, when I put that video out, it was doing really well the first day. And then after just a day, it got demonetized. And YouTube said that it was not advertiser friendly. And that video I did on the honorable things that CJ did, I spent a month working on that video. Like, a month working on that video. Just, I replayed the entire story of San Andreas on my own time. I was examining cutscenes. I was trying to think of everything that CJ did. I was putting it together, got the script together, edited it, put it all together, created the thumbnail. Took me about a month to make that lore video. And another reason that it got delayed a bit was because I had other projects, so I was working at other videos at the same time. And then YouTube just demonetized it after like a month of working on that project. And I love making lore videos, they're awesome. But lore videos are also where I get the bulk of my ad revenue from. That's where most of my ad revenue today comes from my lore videos. That's where most of my ad revenue today comes from. The other content helps too, but lore videos are, you know, what really helps my channel grow the most right now. And so, for me, working on a lore video for a month and just putting all that effort into that video on the honorable things that CJ did, and just for it to get demonetized like that, it just felt like I got punched in the gut. Like, it just hurt. Like, imagine like working on a project for a month and then not getting paid for it. That was pretty much what it was. It sucked. And I contacted YouTube. I was trying to get this straightened out. And YouTube was going back and forth with me, just telling me that, oh, the video was just inappropriate, it was not advertiser friendly, and I was like, what is not advertiser friendly in this video? It was like a video of just me playing San Andreas, having the cutscenes and explaining like the backstory behind what the honorable things that CJ did. Like, just talk about good things that CJ did. Like, what was not appropriate about the video? And I was arguing with them for weeks, and after like 2 or 3 weeks, they finally gave me an answer. And do you know what caused the video to get demonetized? I thought that it was something that CJ said. Like a lot of people thought that it was like a word that CJ said, like a word that CJ cursed. Do you know what my entire video got demonetized over? It's like the video was like close to an hour long. And the video, do you know what the video got demonetized on? It wasn't even something that CJ said. It was actually something that Kent Paul said. Remember the British guy? There's one cutscene where CJ meets Kent Paul and Macker. And in that cutscene, Kent Paul says, he says a curse word. And that curse word, that single curse word, caused the entire video to be demonetized. That one single word caused the entire video to be demonetized for that. And what ends up happening is I talked to, Dark Viper AU about this. I messaged him about this, and I said, like, do you have this happen to you where your videos get, like, demonetized over the characters cursing in GTA? And he was like, yeah. And I said, like, what do you usually do? And he's like, I usually just edit it out. I cut it out, like, if it's, like, demonetizing the video, and that usually monetizes it back. And what ends up happening is I contacted YouTube support, and I told them, like, if I edit this video, like, because you can edit videos once they're live. If I edit these videos, like, it's like, will you remonetize the video? And they said, no, we won't remonetize the video because it was inappropriate. And I said, like, but if I cut the curse words out, and they're like, no. And I was like, oh, come on. I sent Dark Viper AU a message about that too, and he told me that was BS what YouTube was doing to me. But he's a nice guy. He's a friend of mine. So he's yeah. But that was just that was just BS. That they weren't gonna remonetize the video for me though. But what I ended up doing to get around that is I took the video down, and what I did was I re-uploaded the video. And I cut out that single curse word that Kent Paul did. So I re-uploaded the entire video, and I cut that single word out. And what happened was the video got monetized, and it never got demonetized again. And so I was able to still, get, ad revenue from it. But that was just a really frustrating thing. But that was just, would Pro ever do a video on the stupidest things the U.S. government did? If I did a video on the stupidest things the U.S. government did, it would probably be top 100 things, top 100 dumbest things the U.S. government did, because they do a lot of stupid things. Annoying, how the C word is seen as... Yeah, it was actually the C word. That's what it was. Thank you, Mr. Waifu. When will I do Siphon Filter 2? I will do Siphon Filter 2 next week, Eduardo. Next week, you'll see a playthrough of it put up. Re-upload it instead. I did, and it was monetized. It was fine. See, does anyone need help selling anything still? Did I solve the issue with the Johnny video? No, I didn't. Unfortunately, I did. It's still demonetized. Excuse me, Pro, but about the Snowden video, I think the government would do everything they can to put him on death row. Also, when will we do Crackdown? Crackdown, people have requested it. They tell me it's like an open world game where he plays a cop in the future. I'll have to look into it. It's on Xbox, right? I'll play the Yakuza games one day, yes. I'm gonna be doing Bully. Siphon Filter 2, Siphon Filter 2 will not affect the Bully playthrough, because Siphon Filter 2 is already done. I've already recorded the entire playthrough. So all I would need to do is just upload it. But it's gonna be uploaded next week. Was years old, but I realized you can send a letter to your member of parliament senator talking about certain issues in an area, asking them to get it resolved. The thing about that is I actually sent, I sent a letter to a congressman one time. One time I did send a letter to a congressman. And the reason that I sent that letter was because what happened was I went through a toll booth in Staten Island. And the toll booth that I went through in Staten Island, I paid the toll. I had my dad in the car with me, and they asked me, do I want a receipt? I said, no, thank you. And I drove off. Then what happens is I get a letter in the mail a few weeks later telling me that I did not pay the toll and that now I have a massive ticket on my hands. And so now I'm out of I paid the toll, and now I have to pay a ticket too? And I don't understand how that even happened, considering that they closed the gates. Like, I paid the toll, I took care of everything like this. Yeah, I know I said this before, but I'm just answering, you know, that one point there. And what ends up happening is I called the toll booth place. I called them. And they tell me that I went through the toll booth illegally. It's like, what do you mean I went through the toll booth illegally? Like, I paid the toll, and I literally, I just didn't take the receipt. I wish I should have taken the receipt with me. And they said to me, sir, we have it all on camera. And I said to them, if you have it all on camera, then you'll see I paid for the damn toll. I was getting pissed about that thing. And they didn't want to get rid of the ticket for me. And what I did was I wrote a letter to my congressman. And I sent a letter to the congressman. I said to him, this is unacceptable. You know, I'm a tax-paying New Yorker. You know, taxes are so high in this state. It's ridiculous the amount of taxes that we pay. But yet, and I go through a toll booth, and I pay the toll, I do everything the right way, and I'm being charged a ticket for this? And it's like, if you want me to vote for you next time, then take care of this for me. And surprisingly, the congressman actually took care of it. I was actually surprised he did something about it. I thought he wouldn't do anything about it, but he actually did get rid of the ticket for me. So that was actually a nice thing that he did. But most of the time, they won't do anything. How much money was it? Oh, it was expensive. The ticket, I think, was over $100. It was an expensive ticket. It was ridiculous. Let's see here. And the thing about this, guys, is a few years later, I was going for the exact same toll booth again, and I did take a receipt, and I had the same thing happen to me again. But this time I paid the ticket because I didn't want to go through all this crap again. So there's something suspicious going on at that toll booth. Pro, I have a question. Since you're a full-time content creator and why don't you go into other platforms? It seems like you're only attached to YouTube and nothing else. Because I don't want to, you know, separate my audience. I just prefer to do everything on YouTube, honestly. Does anybody need help with anything? Oh, Toxic is inviting me. Okay. Yeah, I know. I learned that. You should get you should get your receipt for everything. How realistic do you think Brooklyn and Queens are in Spider-Man 2? I watched a cutscene of my friend playing in Spider-Man 2. He was share playing it for me, and I watched him do. It was like a cutscene when Peter was in Forest Hills, I think it was in Queens, and he was talking to MJ in like a house. That was pretty accurate on what a lot of suburbs do look like in Queens. But that was Forest Hills is like a pretty fancy suburb in Queens. It's usually where like upper middle class people will live in Forest Hills. Okay. I know Gran Turismo, what about it? I'm just waiting for I've crashed this car so much. I'm just waiting for an invite to the business. Thank you, Little Planet, for subscribing. Have I seen cutscenes of Coney Island? A little bit. You wanted to say what, Phoenix? I might watch Napoleon, yes. I might go see that one. What is my favorite unsolved mystery? I would say the unsolved mystery that I'm the most interested in is the Dyatlov Pass incident. The Dyatlov Pass incident is actually pretty creepy. It's a pretty creepy incident, where it happened in the Soviet Union, where it was like a bunch of hikers, like college kid hikers. They went up on a mountain, and they one of them went back because he was feeling sick. He had like the flu. And the other hikers never came back. They all died. And they died under mysterious circumstances. Like, their deaths were never fully explained, like what happened to them. It wasn't an avalanche. It was like the way they died, it was like weird and mysterious, and it was never fully explained what happened on that mountain. But that's a pretty creepy story, the real life story that happened. How do you feel about streamers who have done this longer than you but are terrible with their money and constantly guilt their audience to tips? I think they're scumbags. I think at the end of the day, I think you are responsible with your money. And, you know, you shouldn't throw that on your subscribers if you have money problems. You shouldn't be doing something like that. That's not your subscribers' responsibility. That's your own responsibility. Thank you for the super chat, Fernando. In my entire time on YouTube, I have never once asked for a donation ever. Never asked people to donate to me. The option is always there, and I appreciate it. But I've never asked for it personally. And I think that my philosophy, the way I personally see it, is I think that people should give you a donation when they like you. When they like you and they enjoy your content. That's when people should give you a donation. They shouldn't feel pressured to give you a donation. Any YouTuber that pressures their audience to give them a donation is a scumbag. That's what I'll say about it. They're an absolute scumbag. Okay, then I guess I'll just follow the helicopter. Howard. I might just follow the plane around. It's okay, don't worry about it, Casey. What if they say they do this for free? I have the perfect answer for that. I would love to debate these YouTubers, these greedy YouTubers. I would love to debate them on this issue and why their subscribers should donate to them. I would destroy them in the debate. But anyways, if you ever hear a YouTuber tell you, if you're ever watching a YouTuber, right, and that YouTuber tells you, you have to donate to me because I'm giving you free content. You know what you say to them? You know what you say to them? You say this to them. Nothing is free. Because when you watch a YouTube channel, it's not free because you are watching ads. You don't pay anything, but you're still watching ads. The only time watching somebody's content would be free is if you're not watching ads. If they're not monetized, for example. That'll be the only time you're watching content it's free. But other than that, it's not free. Again, the majority of YouTubers make most of their money from ad revenue. That is where the vast majority of YouTubers get their money from. It's ad revenue. And so, when you're watching a YouTube channel, even if you have never donated to a YouTube channel, if you've never donated to a YouTube channel, you've never purchased a membership, you are still supporting that channel. So don't think that just because you don't buy a membership or you don't donate to a channel that you're not supporting it. You're still supporting it. If you are watching that channel, you're giving them a view that's helping the algorithm. If you leave a comment, that's helping the algorithm. If you leave a like, that's helping the algorithm. If you share the link with other people, that's helping their content. That's helping their content grow. And they're making money. When an ad pops up on your channel, on your video, when an ad pops up on their video and you skip it, you're still helping them get ad revenue. You're still helping them with ad revenue. So, when I personally, that personally gets me pissed off when I hear YouTubers say, "Oh, I'm giving you guys free content. You have to donate to me." It's like, no, you're not getting free content because they're watching ads. Like, for example, Pluto TV. It's a TV that's on the PlayStation. It's not just on PlayStation, but I watch Pluto TV on my PlayStation. I don't use any more cable TV or anything. I just watch Pluto TV. That's all I watch. Pluto TV, you don't pay anything for it. But guess what? Pluto TV has tons of ads. There is so many commercials on Pluto TV. And that is where they get their money from, is those ads. Because nothing is free at the end of the day. So they're getting getting money from you watching the ads. When you watch Pluto TV and you watch those ads, they're getting their money from that. Those Pluto TV. That's how they're getting it. So honestly, when you hear those YouTubers tell you that they're giving you free content and you have to donate to them, just tell them exactly what I told you. That you're watching their ads, you have ads popping up on their channel, and you're watching it. And that's how they're making ad revenue from it. Which YouTuber said this? Oh, somebody said it in the comments. What if YouTubers say that they're getting free content? But that's basically it. Is most YouTubers will get their money from the ad revenue, and they have ads on live streams. I don't. The thing about this is, I have ads on my live streams, but the ads that are on my live streams are only the ad that's in the beginning. So if you click on my live stream, you will only see one ad, and that is the ad at the start. I don't do any mid-roll ads during the live stream. When I upload the live stream, when the live stream is uploaded, then I'll have a few mid-roll ads in the live stream. But I will never have mid-roll ads in the middle of a live stream. So you guys will never be watching me during a live stream, and then you'll see an ad pop up. I don't do that. I don't have that. I used to have that on. I used to have the mid-roll ads on, but I'm a man of the people. I listen to what my viewers tell me, and a lot of my viewers were complaining that there was ads popping up in the middle of my live stream, and so what I did was I turned it off, and I haven't had mid-roll ads for like over a year on the channel now. So I only have the ad that's at the start. That's it. When you click on my live stream, there's no mid-roll ads that pop up. The only time I have mid-roll ads when the stream is uploaded and it's a video, I'll have some ads in the middle. But other than that, I don't put ads in during a live stream. You won't see ads in the middle of a live stream. I personally think it annoys people too much. Pro, but then they say YouTube doesn't pay me a lot, so they ask for super chats, super thanks, and tips, or else they won't have money for groceries. Well, what I'll tell you about this is sometimes you gotta make do with what the situation that you're in. When I was in, I'll tell you guys something. When I was doing YouTube, when my YouTube channel first took off, I was working a dead-end job in retail. I was working a job in retail at the same time, and I wasn't doing good at that job in retail. And it's not that I was getting fired or anything, but I just wasn't making money. I wasn't making good money from it. And so I did YouTube, and I did, retail at the same time. So I was doing that. So if somebody is saying, oh, you gotta pay for my groceries and stuff like that, well, it's like you should try to find other ways to make money besides YouTube. You should not just be dependent on YouTube as your only source of money. If you having only YouTube as your only source of money is stupid. I'm gonna say that right now. Any YouTuber that has only YouTube as their main source of money, as their only source of money, I should say, not main source, but only source of money. If your only source of money is YouTube, I'm not calling you stupid, but I'm saying that's stupid. That just in general, just being dependent on just YouTube alone as your only source of money, I think is stupid. And I think that YouTube money is very unpredictable. It's very volatile. It can really go all over the place. Like 1 month you're doing good, 1 month you're doing terrible with views. So it depends, on how you're doing with YouTube. So that's why I say is don't be dependent on YouTube. That's why what I did, I diversified my income. I own a rental property. I make money from my rental property too, and YouTube. So I make money from two sources. So I'm not dependent on just one thing. So that's what I would say is that if you're gonna donate to a YouTuber and you want to help support them, there's nothing wrong with donating to a YouTuber. But don't have the YouTuber pressure you. Don't have the YouTuber say, oh, you have to give me donations because you're getting free content or anything like that. If somebody's asking you for donations, don't watch that channel. That's just what I'll say about that, is that's not a good channel that you want to watch. Because nobody has an obligation to give you a donation. Nobody has that. They don't have an obligation to give you a donation. And they give you a donation when they like your content and they enjoy your content. They like you as a person and they want to support you. That's when they'll donate to you. This is PlayStation 5. RoboCop Rogue City is a decent mention. Also, Scumbag is a euphemism for a used Fax Plus is Verdansk a Warzone or DMZ map, or is it new? It was a Warzone map in the original Modern Warfare. Pro, do you make money on streams besides donations? Well, I make a little bit of money from the ad revenue, but most of my money on streams comes from from donations. But I do streams because people enjoy them. So I make a living off my channel too. But like I will do when I did the Outlast stream the other day, like Outlast did not the Outlast stream didn't do as well as the GTA streams. But I still did the whole stream because it's Halloween and it's fun and I wanted to do something for you guys and I wanted to enjoy it. So personally, I think that does anybody want to do a heist? If anybody wants to do a heist, by the way, just invite me to your heist. I'll do a heist right now. But oh, I missed a super chat. Did I miss a super chat? You're also spending money by investing your time. I guess in a way, you're right, Brandon. But yeah, just don't listen to those YouTubers who ask for donations, because I don't think that that's yeah, I just don't agree with that personally. Yeah, I'll do another GTA 4 stream definitely. I'll tell you this though, is that one thing that I'll tell you guys, something that a lot of YouTubers don't tell you, is that the money on YouTube, when a YouTuber blows up, money can go to their head, because it's almost like a sickness. It's like a disease in your head in a way. It's somebody that knows psychology in the comments probably knows what this is. I don't know what you would call this, but it's just this obsession with money. I know it's it's some kind of sickness. I know that it's greed is part of it, but it's just this obsession with money. It just takes a toll on your mental health, and it's just that these YouTubers, a lot of times, they will be looking at what content brings them the most amount of views and the most amount of ad revenue in. They don't think about what content people are going to enjoy or something that I want to be proud of making. They just think about, oh, how much views is this going to get me? How much money is this going to get me? And it just goes to your head. That's what it does. You know, to a degree, I was like that in the past. Like, you know, a few years ago, you know, when, like, my top 5 and my top 10 videos were, like, you know, getting really popular a few years ago on GTA, I was always thinking about, like, how much views will this get? You know, will this blow up? How much will this do? You know, how will this do? And everything like that. And it took a toll on my mental health. It wasn't good. And eventually I got out of that. And I just said to myself, you know what? I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. And it's just, and I'm going to do whatever I feel like doing, what I enjoy doing. And I did enjoy doing the other content too, don't get me wrong, but I personally felt pressured to just do GTA Online content, because I felt like that was the only way that I was going to make money on YouTube, was just doing GTA content. And eventually I got out of that, and I don't think like that anymore. But I'll tell you this obsession with money, because that's what a lot of YouTubers are obsessed with, is the views. Like, it's like they think that if their content does not get a certain amount of views in like a certain time, like a lot of YouTubers, they'll look at it and be like, if this video doesn't get this amount of views in like 24 hours, this video failed. That's what they think a lot of times. Doesn't mean that a video failed. Videos grow over time. The same thing was happening with my playthroughs. Like, when I was doing some of my playthroughs, people were saying, "Oh, these playthroughs suck. They're not getting as much views as your GT Online content. Do GT Online," but the playthroughs grew over time. They got bigger. If you look at like some of my playthroughs, like some of the Saints Row 1 and 2 playthroughs have like over 100,000 views. They grew. They got really popular. So people really enjoyed that. They liked that. So I personally think that if you want to be a good YouTuber, I think you should personally stop stressing over views. Because if you're just obsessing over views, I think your channel is personally going to go downhill, and I think that it's going to, I think it's going to be bad. Personally, I think it's going to go really bad later on. That's just my view on it personally. I'll have to show you the game's contents after stream. The puzzles are unreadable. I'll have to use a special magic reader to let you see them. Oh. Okay, that's for Password Plus, Mario. And thank you for the super chat. Hi, Pro. I'm not sure if you've gotten this question already. Would you consider playing LA Noire? I really want to see how good your detective skills would be. Well, Yummy, the thing about LA Noire is I beat LA Noire a long time ago. Like, over 10 years ago I beat it. And so I remember who the killers are, but I never played the DLC cases. The DLC cases, I never played those, so I wouldn't know who's guilty in the DLC cases. I'd have to figure that out. But I could play the Sherlock Holmes games. Some of the Sherlock Holmes games I didn't play. I didn't get the chance to play them. And so those games you would see me playing them the first time, and those would be a little harder to figure out. Thank you, Yummy. And thank you, Thomas. Hey, Pro, hope all is well. What are your thoughts on a solo player doing vehicle cargo in 2023? It's still a good way to make money. You steal a top-range car and you sell it. Thank you, Thomas Walsh. And so that's what I was talking about with the mental illness, like with the views. Just constantly thinking about what gets the most views, what gets the, what video is going to do the best, and just constantly it's just obsessing over that. It's not good. It takes a toll on any channel, really. Oh damn. Yeah. What I'll tell you guys is some of these clickbaiters on YouTube. If you look at some of the clickbaiters on YouTube, the clickbaiters that have like millions of subscribers, if you go back on their channel, like a long time ago, if you go like many years ago on their channels, and you look at the content that they did like years and years ago, some of the clickbaiters' content wasn't bad like years ago. It was actually pretty good. And what happened is that they grew, they became really popular, and then they basically started thinking about how can I milk these views? How can I make the most amount of money from this? They stopped thinking about what's the best content that I can make for my viewers. Instead, they started thinking about what's the best way that I can just milk this and make as much money as possible. And it went to their head. The money went to their head. The views went to their head. I would consider it probably a form of mental illness because it's like this obsession with money. It has to be something. Anybody that knows psychology, can you tell me what this is called? Like this obsession with money? Obviously it's greed, but it's like when you're just constantly obsessing over money. It's like to the point where it becomes like a sickness. There's got to be a term for that. But that's pretty much what happened with a lot of these clickbaiters. It's like the money went to their head, the views went to their head. I'm so happy that never happened to me. But it's like the money and the views went to their head, and they just started going crazy with it. And that's basically why you see all this GTA 6 garbage. Like you see all this stupid GTA 6 garbage when you go on YouTube today. Like just type in GTA 6 and you will see all these stupid videos, like dumb videos on YouTube. It's like GTA 6 map leaked. You know, GTA 6 new Lucia and Jason leaks. It's like all of this stuff. GTA 6 new car leaks, new police leaks, new gun leaks. And this is all BS. All of it is nonsense. The only thing that's true is that we know that it's going to be in Vice City, it's Jason and Lucia. All the other stuff is BS. None of it is true. And it's just this, and the reason that these YouTubers do it, I'll tell you why they do it. The reason they do it is because it's easy to do. It's easy to do. It doesn't require a lot of work. You could, those clickbait videos that they make, you can make that in less than an hour. Easily. In like less than an hour. All you basically do is record some video of you driving around the city in GTA 5 and just talk nonsense for over 8 minutes. And if you notice, the videos are always over 8 minutes long. Always over 8 minutes long. Why are their videos over 8 minutes long? I'll tell you why. Because when a video is under 8 minutes, you can only put one ad into it. But when it's over 8 minutes, you can put as many ads as you want into it. So what these YouTubers do is they basically think, oh, I can just keep milking this GTA 6 crap, and people are going to watch this, and this because they're looking for GTA 6, and I'm going to get a ton of views from this, I'm going to get a ton of money from this. And that's why they do it, because it's lazy, it doesn't require a lot of work, and they can just keep milking this until the end of time, basically. So that's what it is. It's nonsense. It's garbage. Avaricious? What's that? Is anybody doing a heist? Is anyone doing a heist right now? I want to help somebody with a heist tonight. Is anybody doing a heist? Does anyone have a heist ready? I want to help somebody with a heist tonight. Avaricious. Well, you know what? Let me Google that. Let me Google that term right now. What is it? Avaricious? Having or showing an extreme greed for wealth or material gain. Yeah. It's, How can YouTube help to reduce GTA 6 clickbait? Honestly, what YouTube could do, one thing that YouTube could do to reduce, clickbait is that they could do a similar thing to what Twitter does, where Twitter, what it basically does is when there's like a tweet on Twitter that's like, that people are debating over what it means, there'll be like a certain comment that'll pop up underneath it, and it'll say like, this claim has not been proven, or something like that. There could be like a little thing that could pop up under like just the tab GTA 6, and it could just say, there is no proof that any of these GTA 6 clickbaits are real. There was only the Jason and Lucia leaks, and that's it. So that's really the only thing that I can think of. But in the end of the day, community note, I guess, at the end of the day, YouTube made the clickbait much worse. They did. How did YouTube make the clickbait much worse? Does anybody, can somebody in the comments here tell me how YouTube made clickbaiting much worse? There's something that they did specifically. I'm sure somebody here can name it, what they did that made it much worse.
Hi.
You got it right there. 3 people already got it. 4 people. Removing dislikes. Removing dislikes literally made clickbait blow up. It made it blow up. Because the thing about this is, the easiest way to tell whether a video is clickbait or not, easiest way to tell, was when you click on the video, and you see the video's like 60% dislikes. When you see the video's like 60% dislikes, you already know the video's nonsense. It's BS. It's stupid. And you just click off the video right away. But now because they removed the clickbait, they removed the likes. You can't see that anymore. And what YouTubers can do is they can just delete all the negative comments and they can just keep the positive comments up, and then you won't notice clickbait, and you're basically wasting your time and giving them more ad revenue. That's basically what one of the stupidest things that they did when they did that. They should have never removed dislikes. That was a stupid thing that they did. It was a politically correct thing that they did too. I don't understand why they did that. It's like they were saying that like some people are getting harassed and stuff like that. It's like, how are people getting harassed? You know something is I've had my videos dislike bombed in the past. I've had that happen. But when I had my videos dislike bombed in the past, what ends up happening is after just a few days of the videos getting dislike bombed, you know, people come to the video that actually enjoy the video, they like the videos, and it basically cancels out all the dislikes, and there's a lot of positive comments that come in. If you guys want to know why my videos got dislike bombed in the past, the reason some of my videos got dislike bombed was because when I started playing like Red Dead Redemption content, so when I started doing like Red Dead content on my channel, there was people that were really pissed off that I wasn't doing just GTA Online, like they wanted me to only do GTA, not Red Dead, and so they were pissed that I was playing Red Dead, and they were just coming into videos and just mass disliking it, but eventually it stopped. So that's just that's what I say is you guys, I don't know how anybody's getting upset with like the dislike bombs and stuff like that. Sure, it's annoying, but at the end of the day, dislikes are also a good way to tell when something is getting, like, something is fake. And the thing about this is when I got dislike bombed, it wasn't even that bad when I got dislike bombed. It was like, maybe it was like 10% of all the interaction between the likes and dislikes, like 10% of it was dislikes and 90% was likes. That's when I got dislike bombed. So it never got to the point where it was half. So, but whenever a video is like half, like dislikes, you already know something's wrong with the video. You already know something's bad, something's off about it. And here's the thing I'll tell you about this is removing the dislikes. Not only did removing dislikes also help clickbaiters, but it also made something much more dangerous worse. Does anybody in the comments know? What did YouTube make dangerous? Like, and when I say dangerous, I'm actually saying something really bad. Something really bad. YouTube made something really dangerous by removing dislikes. Does anybody know what that is? Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Disconnect me into Heist, Casey. Exactly, right there. You guys got it. You guys got it. Right there, 4 comments. Scamming and bots comments. YouTube basically helped scammers. By removing dislikes, they help scammers. Because now you cannot tell. A lot of times you can't tell whether a video is scams or not, because some video might be really convincing that it's real. And there's and I'll tell you guys something. Has anybody ever seen the Mr. Beast scams on YouTube? I'm not talking about Mr. Beast. There's not talking about Mr. Beast himself. Mr. Beast is not doing the scams. He's innocent. There's people who pretend to be Mr. Beast on YouTube, who make fake YouTube accounts. And what they do is they do these polls. One of my friends sent me the Mr. Beast scam, like a poll on it the other day, where basically what the Mr. Beast scam bots will do, they pretend to be Mr. Beast and they'll do like a poll. And they'll be like, you know, what is 100 plus 300 or something like that? And you guess the right answer. And then they're like, here, congratulations. Click on this comment and click on this link and get your prize right now. That is a scam. That's a scam. But because YouTube removes the dislikes, a lot of times you can't tell that it's a scam. And what the clickbaiter does, the scammer does, is he deletes all the negative comments. Because one of my friends left a negative comment on it, and within maybe like 10 minutes, his comment was gone. It was deleted. And there was only positive comments on that video. And we knew that it was a scam. And so somebody looks at that and they see nothing but likes and they see all positive comments, they're going to get scammed a lot of times. And so that's what I say is that removing dislikes endangers people. It really endangers people. It helps scammers. It's very dangerous on YouTube because those scams are just all over the place. They're out of control. They're ridiculous. And so that's why, and the thing about this, in the past, if somebody has removed the dislike bar, like if somebody disabled dislike bar, you immediately saw that dislikes are disabled, and you clicked out the video. Every single time I saw a video and the dislikes were disabled, I clicked out the video immediately. Because the first thing that came to my mind when I saw somebody disable the dislikes is that, what is this person hiding? That's the first thing that comes to my mind. So whenever I click on a video and the dislikes were disabled, I would just immediately click out the video and would not watch it, because I was like, there's something off about this immediately. So it's like, why would the person not want people to see dislikes? So that's why. So have you guys seen those Mr. Beast, scams, like the poll scams? Like, I've seen those before. Like, it's like maybe I'll do a video about that, about warning people about the Mr. Beast scams. I could put that in my trolling scammers playlist. But that's don't fall for that. If you see a Mr. Beast scams, there's ads that pop up on YouTube. They're actual scams. So don't fall for that. And the thing about this is, these scammers pay YouTube for this. They pay YouTube for this, and they pay YouTube to advertise their channel, and YouTube advertises scam channels. So you can actually pay YouTube, and they will do ads for you. And so YouTube are so stupid oftentimes, they will demonetize videos like mine. Like, they demonetized my Johnny Klebitz video, saying that it was inappropriate. But at the same time scammers will buy ads, and they'll allow that to happen. So they'll allow scam channels to exist on, but then they'll demonetize channels for such stupid, dumb things. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Has anybody here seen the GTA 6 scam? The GTA 6 scam? There's these scammers on YouTube that, like, post links to, like, GTA 6. Like, it's an actual ad that pops up, and it's like, get GTA 6 right now. Download and install right now. Click the link. It'll be on YouTube. And then they'll put up, like, things like download GTA 5 on mobile. GTA 5 cannot handle mobile. It can't. Even the best iPhones cannot handle GTA 5. So it's, I've done videos on those scams before, but that's, the GTA 6 scams have gotten completely out of control. It's ridiculous. Oh, Casey, could you mute my video in the background? I just don't want to hear myself repeating. Okay, here we go. Let's do this heist. People can also buy subscribers to the channel, I guess. Yeah, there's that.
Security is expecting exterminators at the back entrance.
Let me also connect my my headset here so I can talk to Casey here on this. Going through the controller mic right now. Almost every time I search something on GTA on YouTube, I get GTA 5 mobile scams. Yeah, they're out of control, Antonio. Casey, are you here?
Yeah.
Can you lower my video in the background? I just don't want to hear myself repeating.
Yeah, I'll try to.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, man.
It's okay, don't worry about it. But I appreciate you actually doing this approach, because this actually is more different. Because it gets boring when you're just doing stealth and armored truck every time.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Bro, how do you feel about people with modded cars? What are you talking about? Like, they modded, like, their cars in the game? Like, you're talking about, like, external mods, right? Like, if somebody, like, modded their car in, like, GTA Online using some, like, external stuff like that, I don't really care about that, personally. The only time I would actually care about that is if they like modded their car to like have like God mode or something like that and just killing everybody in the lobby. That's the only time I'd care about something like that. But if they just modded their car to look a specific way, I honestly could care less about that. Thank you, Variant, for the super chat. Yeah, and YouTube got rid of ad blockers, which that's not How will you react if someone owns a tow truck on GTA Online? It'd be kind of cool, I think. Pro is such a nice dude. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Variant, for that super chat earlier. Okay.
Come on, quick out the chute. Boss lady's office is crawling with bugs. Take the stairwell on your right up to the first floor and follow the hall around. Someone will show you through to the infestation.
Good work so far. You're in the staff lobby. Try your best to act normal in front of security. Okay, now go through the double doors behind the main desk like the professional exterminators you are. You're going to the manager's office. No one will want to mess with the fumigators, so you should have free reign of most of the staff lobby, office, and hotel. The vault? Not so much.
Smartest GTA protagonist in your opinion?
Bug guys, up this way.
Um,
They're thick as fleas on a farm dog up here.
Tommy Vercetti, because he was able to take over an entire city.
Just like we planned. Ignore the bugs and get to the cargo elevator.
Okay.
Alright, this is a little something I cooked up especially for you. It'll spoof fingerprint recognition based on an arrangement of partial data. No need for skin grafts or severed hands. Just select the partial print tiles and move them to match the fingerprint on screen. Once you've made your choice, run the simulation and see how it stacks up. You'll get a few failed attempts before the scanner realizes what we're doing. Take too many bites at the cherry, or take too long to get through the door once it's open, the alarm goes off and our day gets a lot worse.
There we go, done. Tell Casey that Elite on Heist comes with yummy sheep tacos. Oh, thank you, Fernando.
Congratulations to Fernando.
Do I think Michael's smart? Yeah. But I think Michael is also stupid for getting involved with the wrong people.
Make sure you're not seen and get to the man trap.
Okay, hang on a second, wait.
Hey,
Okay, hold on.
hey you! You shouldn't be here.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. I guess restart this then. Casey, you just want to hug the wall on that part. Those guys back there, you don't want to go after them.
I wasn't gonna show me, I guess. My bad.
It's okay, don't worry about it. Okay, restart it here.
Come on, quick out the chute. Boss lady's office is crawling.
Did I
with
find
bugs.
Michael annoying in the
Take
second act of the
stairwell
game?
on your
Yeah,
right up to
because
the first floor
he's
and
constantly
follow the hall
complaining.
around.
And honestly,
Someone will show
speaking
you
of
through
which,
the infestation.
you know, I don't want to sound like,
You're in the
I don't want to
staff
sound like a
lobby. Try your
scumbag by
best to
saying
act
this,
normal in front of
but
security.
I didn't feel bad for a lot of the stuff that Michael was going through near the end of the game. The reason I didn't feel bad for Michael is because I felt like Michael brought a lot of that on himself. Because Michael chose to get involved with those bad people, like Steve Haynes and all of those people. Like, and I'm not talking about them forcing him to like do that stuff for him. I'm talking about before, like when he faked his death. Like he chose to get involved with those people. He knew the risks, and that this would eventually come back and like bite him. And so that's why I personally feel like a lot of that stuff that happened was Michael's fault.
Up here.
Just like we planned. Ignore the bugs and get to the cargo.
So his family
elevator.
deserved to be raided by mercs? No, 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 no. I'm not talking about that. I'm not. That's more the Devin Weston situation that happened. I'm talking about like the. I'm talking about all the stupid things that he had to do, like when he was breaking the guy at the IAA, like, you know, pretending to be dead, like breaking into the FIB building, all of that stuff. I felt like a lot of that was Michael's fault,
You'll get a few
personally.
failed attempts before the scanner realizes what we're doing. Take too many bites at the cherry, or take too long to get through the
Like,
door once
if
it's
you
open.
if you watch my lore video, why does Trevor forgive Michael? If you beat the game and you do the good ending, you know, ending C where all the characters survive, Michael actually tells Trevor that he was wrong for what he did, and he apologizes for, you know, pulling that entire crap in North Yankton. So Michael even says that he was wrong for getting involved with those people at the end of the game, in a conversation. So it was just he wanted a quick way out, and that was just he didn't think about what was the repercussions of that, and that just happened. honestly, I think what Michael should have done is Michael definitely had a rainy day fund. What I mean by a rainy day fund, he definitely had a lot of money saved up from all of his heists. He should have gone to Lester, and he should have told Lester, I'll give you a few $1,000,000. Create a fake identity for me and my family. We're moving out of here. We're getting out of here. And I'm sure Lester would have done that for him. But the way that he went about it, where he got involved with all those corrupt cops and all that stuff, that was stupid.
What the hell you
Ah, crap, now I messed up here. What the heck?
Whoa, you can't be here.
Okay, I don't know how I didn't get spotted the first time. Okay, messed this up here. Yeah, these guards were just moving towards me.
Come here.
Okay, we retried. Oh, that's on me there. I messed that up.
You have to leave right now.
I'm gonna retry. We'll get this done now. Sorry about that. Thank you, Dragon Gaming, for the super chat. I asked a streamer why he's always late, and he says, you guys don't pay me to be on time. He gets 1,000 live views. Wait, what? Like, he shouldn't be talking to you like that. That's not how a YouTuber should be talking to his subscribers. Thank you, Dragon Gaming, for the super chat.
I didn't.
Come on, quick out the chute. Boss lady's office is crawling with bugs. Take the stairwell on your right up to the first floor and follow the hall around. Someone will show you through to the infestation.
Good work so far. You're in the staff lobby. Try your best
For
to
liking
act
Mike
normal in front of
who?
security.
Michael DeSanta, you mean?
Okay,
No,
now
Mr.
go to the
Waifu,
double
no,
doors behind the
it's
main
fine.
desk.
I like Michael too. I think he's an interesting character, but
We're going to the manager's office.
I personally, in that situation, I feel that both Michael and Trevor were wrong, but I feel like Michael was more wrong than Trevor was in that situation.
Hey, bug guys, up this way. They're thick as fleas on a farm dog up here.
Just like we planned. Ignore the bugs and get to the cargo elevator. Alright, this is a little something I cooked up especially for you. It'll spoof fingerprint recognition based on an arrangement of partial data. No need for skin grafts or severed hands. Just select the partial print tiles and move them to match the fingerprint on screen. Once you've made your choice, run the simulation and see how it stacks up. You'll get a few failed attempts before the scanner realizes what we're doing. Take too many bites at the cherry, or take too long to get through the door once it's open, the alarm goes off and our day gets a lot worse.
Pro, is getting revenge worth it? I don't know what you mean with revenge specifically, but what I will tell you is
Well, this is as far as those disguises will get you. Make sure you're not seen and get to the man trap.
let me just hold on. I'll just answer your question about revenge in just one moment here. I just gotta get through this here. Hold on, Casey, stay back. I'm just looking at what these guards are doing here. These guards that keep walking through here keep messing us up. Okay, this guard's walking through here. Let him just, I think he's gonna walk around and just let him go back and leave.
Roger.
There's another guard coming in here, too. Okay, he's leaving.
Yeah, what this other dude do the same thing.
These doors. This is supposed to be the easy part.
This is actually the hard part, not the easy part, Lester. Oh.
Hit the alarm! We got some thieves inbound!
What?
We're almost there. Come on, let's go.
Oh no! This place is
Oh
all
my god, this...
Well,
Damn, again, I'm just having such bad luck with the heist today. It's like, I don't understand, like, who spotted us. I heard some guys saying we got thieves here, and then just, Okay, try this again. It's my bad. I messed that up, sorry. I know I blew it. We're gonna get it done this time, though. But anyways, about revenge, You're asking whether revenge is worth it. I don't know what context you're asking that. But what I will say though about revenge is if there is somebody that is like a scumbag to you, and you just don't like them, the best form of revenge that you can get against a person like that is to just be successful. That is, you don't have to say anything to them. You don't have to do anything. They will just simply see that you're successful and they're not. And that for you can take pleasure in that. That is that's the best form of revenge. But doing anything other than that, I think it's personally stupid and shouldn't do something like that.
Okay, now go through the double doors behind the main desk like the professional exterminators you are. You're going to the manager's office. No one will want to mess with the fumigators, so you should have free reign of most of the staff lobby, office, and hotel. The vault? Not so much.
Waddy doesn't care about success, and you just ignore them.
Bug guys, up this way. They're thick as fleas on a farm dog up here.
There is only one time that I can think of where I got revenge on somebody, and I didn't regret it though, what I did. But basically, I told this story a few times before. It's a very long story, but I'll just shorten it.
Just like we planned.
Basically, what happened was when I was in elementary school, when I was in 5th grade, there was this kid that was just, I would say, an absolute menace. Like, he was just, I would even call him like a psychopath. Like, this kid was scary. He would harass people, he would steal from people, he'd beat kids up. He never beat me up or stole from me up until that point. And what happened was this kid, what he did was he stole my Game Boy Advance SP. So I got a Game Boy Advance SP for Christmas. And I got so excited with that. I was playing like a Donkey Kong game, I remember, on that, and I really liked my Game Boy Advance SP. One day, the Game Boy had gotten stolen. My lunch bag had gotten ripped open, and to me, it was obvious that guy had done it because he was caught selling Game Boys in the past. But he didn't have my Game Boy, so I never found out what happened to it. And what ends up happening is, this is like a year or two later. I was either in 6th or 7th grade, so I was in middle school. And it was a elementary school and a middle school, so we had both of it. And this kid, what I'll say about this kid is this kid was like evil. Like, just evil, because this kid even like told kindergartners that there's no such thing as Santa. He would just take personal pleasure in just making people suffer. He would just beat kids up. He would steal from kids. He was not a nice kid. I cannot think of one nice thing that he's ever done, ever. I would honestly consider him a psychopath. Like, he had no empathy for anyone, nothing whatsoever. It was all about him. And what ends up, so if you want to know how I got revenge on this kid for stealing my Game Boy Advance, one day what happened was, I saw this kid jump another kid. It was at recess, and it was like, kind of like this blocked off area. It was like a corner of the playground. It was like an area that was not,
Take them out.
Quit dawdling and get through these doors.
it was an area that was just not as visible. And I saw this kid, come up behind another kid. And that other kid was actually a kid that gave me problems in the past. There was a kid I didn't get along with. But even though the kid that he attacked, I didn't get along with. Oh, Casey walked in front of the camera. Let's just restart this again here. So, the kid who stole my Game Boy, right? He comes up behind another kid. The kid, he attacks this kid. This other kid, I didn't get along with him. I didn't like him either. But when I saw what he did, is this kid's name, the really evil kid, his name was Jake. What he did was he comes up right behind, punches him in the back of the head, just like really hard, knocks him to the ground. I never saw somebody just fall flat like that before, but he just knocked him to the ground. And just glasses got smashed, everything. The kid was just out, and he did that just so he could take his wallet. That was pretty much why he did that. And at that point, I got really annoyed, and I just said, you know, enough of this, because I was tired of this. This kid would terrorize the school. He would scare kids all the time, beat kids up, and I was just sick of that. And what I did was I went to the assistant principal's office, and I told her that I saw what happened, because nobody knew who knocked that kid out. Nobody found out who did it. The kid didn't see him, and I told the assistant principal I know who did it. And I was not a snitch. I wasn't like a rat or anything, but I never got in trouble. I never did anything bad. And so she took my word for it, which is what happened. And what I did was, I signed a report stating that this is exactly what happened. And and I asked the assistant principal, I'm like, is he going to find out that I told you about this? And she said no. And what ends up happening is he gets suspended. He gets thrown out of school, this kid. Gone. Done. I don't think I've ever saw him again at that point. He was gone. And the thing about that, I don't regret it, because that was my revenge too, is, you know, you can say that what I did was snitching, but I don't really think so, because snitching is more when you're involved in something bad, and you tell on somebody when you're part of something, and you tell on everybody else involved in it. But literally, this kid was beating kids up constantly, just harassing them, stealing from them. He stole my Game Boy from me. He stole from so many other kids. And I saw him knock this kid out, beat him up, like, you know, knocked him to the ground, punched him as hard into the back of the head. And I basically said, you know what, screw this. That was the only time that I ever told on anybody ever. I never told on anybody ever. That was the only time I ever did it. And what I'll say about this is, by me getting that kid thrown out of school, I saved other kids. Because he think about it this way, when he's not in school, he can't hurt other kids. He can't jump other kids at school. He can't steal from other kids at school, because he's gone. So that's one thing that you learn about incarceration. When you incarcerate somebody, you can't really, that person can't hurt anybody else, because they're, you know, they're away. Was the kid okay? He made a recovery. There's a difference between snitching and doing the right thing. That's what I'll say about this.
This is as far as those disguises will get you. Make sure
I'll give you a perfect example of what snitching is. Because there was this one kid that was in my school. This one kid his name was, let's get back a little bit more. Yeah, stay right here. Casey. There was this one new kid that I remember came to my school, and he would just constantly snitch on kids for everything. Like, just the stupidest things. Like, what this kid would do is he would snitch on kids for just chewing gum. Like, if you were chewing gum, he would tell on you for that. Like, if you were in the halls without a pass, he'd tell you on that. He would, the stupidest thing that I saw him snitch on somebody for was we were sitting at a lunch table once, and some of the kids were talking about the principal, and one of the kids said F the principal, and this kid gets up from his seat, and he just runs out of the cafeteria. I'm like, where the hell is this kid going? What's going on here? And what ends up happening is, 5 minutes later, you hear on the intercom, David, come down to the principal's office. David got suspended. And that kid snitched on him for that. For something so stupid like that, saying screw the principal, snitching on somebody for something like that, that's snitching. That's pretty much what that is. That's telling on somebody for something stupid. What I did was, I told on somebody that was beating kids up, constantly harassing them, stealing from them. This is like, if I didn't, you know, tell on this kid, you know, this kid was going to keep beating kids up. He was going to keep hurting kids. So it's like, so there's the, if anybody has ever watched that TV show, The Boondocks is like a really good episode on this, which teaches you a moral lesson about this. There's like an episode on The Boondocks, I think it's called like Snitching something, where what happens at the episode is Ed and Rummy are like breaking into a bunch of houses, and they steal Riley's grandpa's like car, and Riley doesn't want to tell on them because he's completely against snitching. Even though they stole from him. They literally stole from his family, swipe at Casey. They stole his car, and he's against snitching. Even though they stole from him. And so what ends up happening is he doesn't snitch on them, and at the end of the episode, they actually end up stealing his bike. So now they steal from him personally, and they steal his. And the grandpa starts laughing at him at the end of the episode, saying he's not going to snitch on them again now. So that's the thing about this. If he actually told the truth in the first place, Ed and Rummy probably would have gotten arrested, and they wouldn't have been able to steal his bike at the end of the episode. So that's basically what that episode of a pretty good moral lesson is. You know, snitching is when you're just a piece of crap. Snitching is when you're involved in something, when you're telling on people for dumb things. But if you're seeing, like for example, like, if you're seeing somebody is harassing somebody else, somebody is hurting somebody else, like actually hurting somebody, and you don't do something about that, isn't that just as bad as not doing, isn't that, you know, that's just, I'm not saying it's as bad as the person that's doing it, but if you know that somebody is doing something bad, and you're not taking any action, you're not even telling about it, I would say that that's personally a bad thing to do. Pro, were you his friend? Not really. I'm kind of more friendly with him today now. But no, we weren't friends at the time. Hang on, let me just...
Okay, disc 1 is done on this side. Hurry, I want to see the other side of that vault. Number 2 done.
Okay, got the hang of this now.
That's disc 3.
sorry about the fails in the heist today, guys. Most of them were my fault today. I just, okay, let's see here, got this now. Got it, okay. I'll do an Ace Attorney playthrough. Yeah, the new one's coming out in January, so I'll do a playthrough on it, yes. You got it, Casey? Oh, okay, I could do this here. Can you ask a work-related question? What about it? Damn, it's the last disc. It's just...
Keep a steady hand and drill gradually.
Having bad luck today. Thoughts on the butterfly effect? What's the butterfly effect? About to break through here. It just, I'm holding this part for the drill too much here. There we go.
Right side's all done.
What's your thoughts? What's your question, Mystical? Can you explain the butterfly effect to me? Thank you, Yummy, for the super chat. I'm typically pretty good with the drill today. I guess I kind of lost my concentration. I'm getting everything on the left, Casey. Get everything on the right. And don't get everything in the middle until we're near the end. We're leaving.
Now, your hacker can block the security sensors while you're in the vault, but only for a while. If the system goes quiet for too long, it triggers the alarm as a failsafe. And, did I mention that if the alarm goes off in here, they'll flood the place with nerve agent? No? Okay, well, I'm mentioning it now. If you're making good time in there, try getting into some of the lock boxes.
Butterfly effect is when something happens that leads to a lot of other things happening as a result. And the question was earlier... Yeah, that can definitely, you know, a certain single event can cause multiple things to happen in history, yes. Get D or A, Casey. Get D. And I'll, take care of this here. Okay. What's your comment, Phoenix? Oh, great, these are all locked. Oh, okay. Evil character in television, I just hope the other door in there isn't locked, too. Oh, it is. Damn. Why are so many locked doors today? Here. Casey, get D when you're done there. Get D. Oh no, it's the wrong one here. Ah. Get D, get D. Did I do the right thing or not? I'll read your comment just one moment here. No, your comments aren't being blocked.
40 seconds.
Yeah, there's too many locked doors in this part here. 15 seconds, leave.
30 seconds. 20 seconds left. Don't dawdle. Perfect. Now get
out.
before they smell a rat. Gas incoming. 10 seconds. Time's up. Here comes the nerve agent. Get the hell out of there before you get a lung fall. In and out undetected. Who'd have thought
Okay,
it?
let me look. What's your question here?
Is the
Swipe it.
load.
When I worked at Subway a year ago, a man came into the store and wants some food, but he doesn't have any money, and he just came from working, so I gave him free food without paying. Did I do the right thing? You didn't do the right thing or the wrong thing, really. It's kind of like more of a gray area. But what I would say is, if you have like a conscience, if you're worrying about that, don't worry about that. Because like Subway's a multi-million-dollar company. It's
Get in the cargo elevator and use your key card. Play it cool.
okay. So yeah, you didn't. I don't think you necessarily did anything wrong. Don't worry about it. Okay. Oh.
Press forward. I don't think you're supposed to.
We've got some heavy chatter on the police frequencies. Sounds like they're sending news.
What I always wondered is, why can't you pick up guard weapons, right? Like, since the guard weapons are their weapons, like, you should be able to pick those up, right? Okay. This is exactly what I say when this would not be happening in GTA 4. If I was playing GTA 4, this would not be happening. Like, it's like, this is exactly what I say. Sometimes you shoot the enemies, they just keep getting back up, back up, back up. Like, it's a stupid.
Keep him busy. Cover! You piece of shit! I don't think you're supposed to do that. Hold it! You have to leave right now. This area is private. Give it up, ass!
Wait, what just happened? Oh. Yeah, AI and combat is just better in GTA 4. Okay.
Alright, now stay calm. Back the way you came through the checkpoint. Nothing to see here.
Okay, go. Let's just get in the elevator.
Get in the cargo elevator and use your key card. Play it cool.
Okay.
Okay, I need you to stay calm. They've seen what you did to the vault, and now the whole place is locking down fast. They know you're still in the building. Just keep moving and keep quiet. Time to change your outfits. We need a fresh start if you're gonna make it out of here under the radar. They're closing
Go
in
back,
on us.
stay
We
back, stay
need
back.
to pick up the pace. Security is sweeping the whole building. Stay one step ahead, or this whole thing goes south. Now,
Go now.
we got your weapons in through the laundry chute. It's, you guessed it, in the laundry room. As long as you stay calm, those outfits should get you from here to the exit. The cops aren't letting anybody through the perimeter, so you'll have to do that the old-fashioned way. Good job, officers. It's about time you showed up. As long as you're in the casino, that outfit's a free pass.
This
Slip
way
out
here,
the
Casey.
side door and try not to act out of character.
I'm doing good, Brianna. How are you?
You should avoid the bulk of the cops this way. The only thing that
Great, our
matters is
cars are in
making
a
it to
stupid
your
spot.
ride.
Okay.
Now, don't let them see you leaving. Remember, they know the vault's been hit, but they don't know who you are or where you are. They have patrols sweeping the whole place, and all the civilians have been evacuated. So if they see you, they'll know it's you. So just stay out of their way, keep your cool, and get to the buyer. The driver has the getaway car in position. I've pinged you the GPS. Get to the buyer, don't bring the cops, and we're home free.
Christ alive! Oh, fudge.
Yeah, don't shoot at all. We're just gonna get away from them this way.
Alright, our decoy is online. The cops are confused as hell. Don't get seen near him, or the cops will figure out what we're doing. I've pinged your GPS for this tracker.
Okay, hold tight.
Just got word from the decoy. We don't have long before they have to tap out. Make the most of it.
Okay. About to lose them any moment here now.
Alright, the decoy is out. You're on your own now.
There we go.
Goes up in smoke.
It's over.
Lose the cops. I knew this would be sweet. Liberating large amounts of private equity from private equity. That's something even the IRS has trouble doing. But you strolled out of there carrying their crown jewels right under their noses. The ultimate humiliation. Oh, I've taken a whole lot of scores, but none of them has been sweeter than this.
Gonna have to go up here. Take this car because this car is faster. Not even using the getaway cars. I might be able to do that one day, Zach, but it's got a lot of games that I'm playing right now at the moment. Try not to do that there. Use a chopper. Nah, I usually just drive there. Chopper's starting to bore me. Or am I gonna get the PS5 Slim? I'll try to, and I'll see if I can do a review on it. Let's take the GPS route there. Well, I get the PS5 Slim because I'm gonna do a review on it. Oh, hello, it's Juan G. Thank you for the super chat. What kind of currency is that? Hello. Oh, it's Malaysia. Okay. Why don't you curse anymore? I mean, I don't even really curse in real life much. Like, personally, I don't. Okay, I'll see you, Temal. I'll take care. Well, they're definitely gonna have a few gangs. It's not just me, the cartel that are the enemies in Vice City, in GTA 6, and I still do have a PS3, yes. Rock there? Where? What? Kenny Petrovich might actually appear in GTA 6 because he has connections in Vice City that we do know in GTA 4. Which Max Payne is my favorite in the series? The third one. Would be funny if there's a college hipster gang in GTA 6 to make fun of the Saints Row reboot. Oh man, that'd be great. Oh, that was Darko, not Florian, though. But yeah. Yeah, the Angels of Death might return too. We're gonna have to see. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. I'll still answer a few questions before I go. So if you want to ask me anything, if you guys want to ask me anything, dude, I'll answer your questions before I go here. But if you enjoy the stream, please do drop a like. It does help the stream out a lot. Yeah, I'd like to see an arms dealing gang too. I don't really use my PS4 anymore much. Have I played Call of Duty World at War? Yes, I love World at War. I tried playing it a few years ago, but I got a community guideline strike for playing it. How long have I been streaming for? 2 hours and 47 minutes. What's for dinner? I might cook some shrimp tonight. Graveyards and Undead Nightmare aren't infinite, Patrick. Oh, okay, Landon. Do the grandpa voice. This is Grandpa Mason here. Yeah, that's the old man's voice that I do. That's when I piss off scammers, I do an old person's voice, and they usually fall for that. I'm gonna have that in a video coming up soon, though. When I do it, I'm pretending to be an old person, a scammer gets really pissed with me. Yeah, I might go for platinum if I get the chance. No, I haven't heard about that, Blinded Eagle. I was trying to tell you last time on your Outlast stream, but isn't it kind of funny and ironic that you can play Outlast with extreme violence, but can't play World at War with less violence? Yeah, you're right. Do I think Dimitri learned his lesson? No. Modern Warfare 3 is going to be up tonight, so there's going to be another part of Modern Warfare up tonight. But I guess we'll be wrapping up the stream here, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the stream, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.